Oh wow, okay, if I click start stream it does just interrupt the countdown. Okay. Cool. So I assume my microphone works. Yeah, it does. Can you hear me? Hello? So there's actually really low latency on YouTube, it's really handy. I have no idea if the game is super loud because the Elgato makes it really hard to adjust the volume for streaming. But I can just adjust the volume in the game if it's too loud. I've got to make a new character. Gordon. What's the which one has the most strength? Violent past, okay. Let's get some hair. Hair color, cool. I've made this same character a million times before. Oh look, there's people in the chat. Enemies just, how does no gravity work? Enemies just floating around. The no gravity is just for the player character, so the player will have no gravity. But everything else will be normal. But I've turned off the enemy AI, so enemies won't attack. Which means it's actually impossible to get into the Nightmare Frontier. But that doesn't matter, because we'll start from the start, and yeah, we'll go from there. Someone said, why a girl? Because men are boring. Oh look, I've never used the YouTube dashboard before. It tells me how many people are watching and everything. That's really handy. So yeah, let me know if like the sound effects in the game are way too loud. I have all the game audio turned off on my end, so I can't hear anything. So I've live streamed most of this before. Oh wow, someone just gave me 10. Is that like Hong Kong dollars? Thank you, David. That was really good. So I've live streamed this before. Well, half of this, the no gravity part. But if you haven't seen it, the game starts off basically pretty normal. Oh, you can't hear the game audio. Okay, that's all right. You don't really need it, but why can't you hear it? Let's have a quick look as to why that might be. Oh, it's just because it's turned. I guess it is just turned down super low. Maybe that worked. Tell me if you still can't hear it. Just tell me. But I just cranked it way up. Like, can you hear that? So regardless of whether or not you can hear it, you can see the enemy AI is turned off, so nothing will attack me. And yeah, obviously just tell me if the sound's like way too loud now, that's fine. So enemies are turned off, that's the first thing that I've done here. Now what that means is I actually need to die. Let's turn that down a little bit, hey. It's in here, right? That's fine. I need to get to the Hunter's Dream to start the no gravity mod, and because that werewolf thing won't kill me, we just have to go to the first lantern instead. The funny thing is when you turn off the AI, this guy still takes a swing at you, but he doesn't lock onto you properly, because taking a swing is a scripted event, but the lock-on event is like a standard AI action. Infernal MC, this stream has been live for 3 minutes, so you certainly haven't missed out anything. Okay, so here's where you'll start to see, other than the enemy AI being disabled, you'll start to see what this mod does. Once I go to the Hunter's Dream, which takes a moment, here we go. So usually, hello Electric Penguin, good morning. Usually when you get to the Hunter's Dream, a cutscene plays to introduce it. The cutscene won't play, something different will happen instead. We get a vermin. So instead of, I've replaced the cutscene event with give me a vermin. And you'd probably wonder, like, why would you need a vermin? And I'll show you why you would want a vermin by returning to Central Yarnum. Using a vermin basically starts the whole mod process. How long did it take to make this mod? I don't know, like three weeks. I made it at the start of I made it last year. I made it like early last year. I use it in the background in a lot of my YouTube videos, but I don't usually show off the mod specifically. I'm usually like using it to create little bits of footage. But I've never like focused on what this mod actually does. Okay, so let's just lose some health. This shouldn't kill me. Now, it took off less than half my health. So let's do that one more time, so I'm almost dead. Come on, ladders. Oh, I forgot to grab the weapons while I was in the Hunter's Dream too. I'll need to do that. So this should almost kill me. Okay. It is your duty as a hunter to crush all vermin without hesitation. Yeah, that's right. We're going to crush a lot of vermin in this with this mod. Was it annoying trying to run this mod? Yeah, it's really annoying. It takes hours and hours. That's why I never do it. So we're going to crush a vermin. And what happens, as soon as you crush a vermin, you get another vermin. So you have an unlimited supply of vermin to start with. But it also gives you a gold pendant. So that's really weird, with no context. So we have unlimited vermin, and we get a gold pendant every time we crush one. But the other thing that crushing a vermin does is it makes you invincible. So I can't die now. Not that I would die very easily, because the enemy AI is turned off anyway, but I sometimes want to take like really long falls, and I don't want to die from them. So I'm invincible now. And every time I crush a vermin, I will be, like, it will reset my invincibility, because when you visit a new level, you have to do it again. Sorry, I'm just having a quick look. Kate, could you check the castle in Hemwick? Yeah, that'll take a while to get to, but yeah, we'll definitely sort of get to around Hemwick, I think, in this stream. So crushing the vermin gave us a gold pendant as well, and using the gold pendant does something far more interesting, which is disable gravity. So you can run anywhere, and it also disables clipping with walls, so you can run wherever you want. Enemy gets attacked by an enemy, yes. That's actually, that enemy is really handy, the fact that it takes a swing at you, because I can demonstrate the invincibility like that. I crushed a vermin one more time to give me another gold pendant, and crushing a vermin also turns gravity back on. So now gravity is back on again. So you can use a gold pendant to turn gravity off, and you can crush a vermin to turn it back on again. And doing that also gives you an unlimited supply of the items involved. Yeah, Mug, I don't have the pebble mod. I haven't modified the pebble yet to make it do extreme damage. So that was something I wanted to do, but I haven't done yet. Let's quickly just go back to the Hunter's Dream and get the weapons as well, because we're gonna have to kill Amelia to get into the DLC. Yes, Yosefka's Clinic, I can get into the hole under the altar in the Church of the Good Chalice. That's something that the free camera can easily be used for. Let's just grab some weapons, whatever's got the strongest strength, and whatever weapon I feel like. And oh, this is the notebook, isn't it? Alright, so we obviously have no gravity and walk through walls, but we don't have a free camera yet. Is going out of the map and exploring the main purpose? Yes, peeve me. That's sort of the whole point of this whole thing. So I'm just reading the chat while it's loading. Yeah, Lena, that lever under the Cleric Beast Bridge, I was actually looking at that again about 10 minutes ago. It's still there. I'm just running a different version now, but it's still there. And yeah, I still don't know anything about what it does. I'll go back to that during this stream, most likely. So now I'll actually have some weapons. Alright, cool. So one thing is, yeah, I'm not invincible anymore because I loaded a new map. So I've always got to remember that, to always crush vermin again to reset my invincibility. Let's just skip past this gate by crushing a pendant. And then do this again. Oh, wait, I need to get to Gascoigne, and I guess the quickest way is just to go over here, right? Yeah, this will take me to Gascoigne. If you die to a boss, then clip through the fog wall, does the boss still aggro? It shouldn't. It shouldn't. The aggro is usually caused by the entering the fog gate event. I'm not entirely sure though. Let's just clip through this, and we should be able to get to Gascoigne easily. Oh, I landed on the roof of the elevator. I didn't expect that. Okay. Now we're over near the... If you're losing track, I'm near the aqueduct exit. So usually you climb up this ladder, and there's this monster up here that throws the flaming ball at you. That will still happen, because that's a scripted event, but none of the enemies should attack me. Actually, will it still happen? Yeah, surely. Is he gonna do it? Yeah, here we go. I'm invincible. Oh, it doesn't even kill you anyway. Cool. Yeah, why would the elevator roof have collision? I guess technically it's an object rather than a map piece, and by default all objects do have collision. By the way, don't worry, I'm obviously rushing through Central Yarnum, but we're going to come back. I just need to unlock the free camera mod, which requires me to get past Erden Chapel. So Gascoigne obviously won't attack us either. Let's equip a weapon. There we go. And we can just run straight past him. I could kill Gascoigne easily, as he's not too hard to kill at base level, but we can just also walk straight through the gate at the end. You get really good at using vermin and gold pendants quickly with this mod. How did you play unpatched? I'm not sure what that means, sorry, Elizabeth Dragon Knight. I'm just still reading some of this. Check the buildings above Gascoigne. Yeah, we'll come back to Gascoigne after I unlock the free camera. So I've streamed this walk through walls and no gravity mod before, but the free camera is the new thing I developed about a week ago, so that's what I'm excited to play with some more. But to unlock the free camera, you have to find the monocular. How was your Japan trip? My Japan trip was really good. I bought lots of Dark Souls games. How did I look at the code for this? I just use like free software, like a disassembler, like a typical disassembler on a computer. It's hard to explain in extreme detail though if you're not really sure what that means. Could you quick slot the vermin and pendant, or do you need them to have an inventory? I could quick slot the vermin, but the pendant, because you can only carry one at a time, once you use it, it leaves your quick slot and doesn't go back in again. It's okay with the vermin though, because typically you've got more than one at a time, so you can chuck that in the quick slot. So are you doing this in PS4? This is all on my PS4. Can you go to the DLC map? Yes, I can. We'll go to the DLC today, surely. Alright, so here's the free camera mod. Here's how it works. You pick up the monocular here, which usually just lets you see things that are far away, like a telescope. But this one has been modified so that when you use it, it turns on the developer's free camera, so you can see anything you like. So this is where am I? There we are, there's me. You can turn the HUD off as well, so it's like not exactly photo mode, but you get the idea. Will you be able to watch this stream after it's over? Yeah, it probably won't be a public link on my channel, but I'm sure you'll see links to it on my Twitter and stuff like that. So you can freely move the camera around, as you can imagine, like any 3D camera in a game. One thing that's a bit... Oh, no, this isn't a beta test version. This is the normal Game of the Year edition of Bloodborne. One thing that's a little bit annoying about this mod is you can lift the camera up and down by using L2 and R2. That's not my choice, that's how the developers made it. But when you do, your character still attacks. So you can see when I'm raising and lowering the camera, the character's still doing those actions associated with those buttons, which means it's really easy to accidentally run off a cliff. So I can be over here and get my free camera out, and, well, thankfully the character's facing the wrong way, but I could be like happily raising and lowering the camera, not realizing that I'm slowly walking towards a cliff, and I'll fall off and die. That happens a lot. So the free camera, obviously you can move as you like when you've got the monocular out. When you put the monocular away, the camera actually stays where you've left it, and you can just play the game with the camera locked. So that's something I'm looking forward to using for YouTube stuff. Like if I want to show something off, it's kind of cool to just be able to show different camera angles and that sort of thing. You get the monocular back out, and you can adjust the camera, put it in a new position, and put the monocular away, and keep playing. And obviously you're sort of stuck in this mode, so if you just get the binocular... No, you put the monocular away and click R3, the game just returns to normal. So you can enter free camera placement, and then play the game, go back into free camera placement, and whenever you're ready, click R3 to go back to normal. So it's pretty functional. It doesn't really break the flow of the gameplay. Hello Dark Gullystar. Yeah, Lenat, Vati was actually the one who asked me if it would be possible to add the this mode where you can run around with the camera locked in place. That was like the main thing he asked about. He said, can you do that? That would be the ultimate feature. So that was why I put in the extra effort to add that part. What did someone ask? Can you lock onto enemies? You can't lock onto enemies while you're doing that thing where the camera's locked in place, because that button is used for resetting the camera. Someone just said, considering the new rules in Japan, is it legit to do this mod? Well, I don't think I would be able to, like, perform this mod as a service in Japan. I guess that would be, like, bad. But I don't really know. Oh, you can crush a vermin while you're in free camera so you don't fall off a cliff. That's a really good, really good idea. Why didn't I think of that? Alright, so now that we've got everything unlocked, let's just go back to... I really shouldn't have used that item there, I should just walk up to the lamp. Let's just go back to the start of the game, and yeah, go, like, just check out some of the earlier areas. There's some stuff I was doing earlier today that I want to show you. The destroyed bridge always bothered me. It's like Silent Hill, there's no rationale for it. Yeah, it doesn't even... that destroyed bridge doesn't even make sense in the, like, logic of the map layout, because when you're down below, on the bridge below it, you can look up and it's not there. It's very rare to see Central Yarnum at this time of day. Not many people come back here after they've gotten past Gascoigne. So sometimes when I post screenshots like this, people ask if it's the alpha version, but it's just regular old Central Yarnum at night. Now, something I did for the first time today is went to the Cleric Beast with free camera, which is reasonably interesting, as you can probably guess why. Does the game render your character from character location? So check this out. Oh, by the way, the first time you use the free camera on any map, the camera starts at, like, coordinate 0, 0, 0. So you gotta, like, find yourself. Where am I? You can usually find yourself because you're near all the fog that's being rendered. Here we go. Wasn't I up here somewhere? Or did I go down here? I went down here, right. So yeah, you asked if the game world is rendered based on the character location. So if I get too far away, you'll see that there's nothing there. These brick trolls are here, but this brick troll's cloth physics are not rendering. So his clothes are just stuck in place because I'm too far away from him for it to bother doing that. And you can see the world starts to unload as you get about this far away from the player character. Now, I can just freely run to the Cleric Beast from here, can't I? Is there anything cool to find in Yosefka's clinic? We'll go have a look there after the Cleric Beast, I reckon, just to fully backtrack and cover the whole game. I'm not sure if we'll get past Rom today, because killing Rom is just a huge pain. And there's lots of stuff to check out before Rom anyway. Okay, so this is cool. This is something that I did just a few minutes ago, before the stream started, because I was curious if it would be worth showing, and I think it is. Oh, where's the... where am I? Great Bridge. Great Bridge is up here. You get really used to traversing the game world. Okay, so here's the Great Bridge where we fight Cleric Beast. And you can probably guess that the interesting thing to check out is, where does the Cleric Beast jump from? So we can lock the camera in place up about here and trigger the Cleric Beast. Oh, there we are. It's really hard. It's got tank control. So just be ready. You'll see the Cleric Beast spawn at the bottom right of the screen. Oh, I got stuck on a barrel. There we go. There he is. So spawns out of nowhere, as you probably could have guessed. And then we can get up close because the AI is just disabled. It's clipping through that lantern pretty horribly. I was trying to, like, lock the camera inside its mouth earlier today to get a screenshot of the player character, but it wasn't very effective. There we go. Vanya R6 said the Cleric Beast is a woman, is that right? Oh no, you're saying with regard to Rom, she. Yeah, that's right, that's right. Have you gone inside the NPC's homes? Yeah, I have. I'll have to check some out on the stream, especially Gilbert's. It's one of the few that actually has, like, geometry in it and stuff like that. There's no reason to actually kill the Cleric Beast, is there? In case some people aren't familiar with my videos, I did a video in extreme detail on this door. But as you can probably guess, in the final version of the game, there's nothing behind that door. And it does physically link up with the door in Cathedral Ward, as you probably know, but in the alpha version there was a lot more to it. I did a whole video on it, so there's not really anything to show there, is there? But let's, there we go, backtrack a little bit. It's probably quickest to just use the Hunter's Mark. Will that take me to near Gilbert's house? I think it will. Yeah, that door. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat there. There's a cut door in there, and it's possible they had some sort of plan for it at some time to the cleric because the base under resembles the one the boss is showing in the trailer. I don't know what that means. So here's Gilbert's house, obviously. And, oh, the camera resets. There we go. As you probably know, Gilbert's house does have an interior. It's just got like wall textures on the floor and stuff. But the whole reason for that is because later in the game his window breaks open and you can see inside it. But you can basically see that there's just nonsense textures inside. You need the pendant to open it. Yeah, that door would... No, Elizabeth, that door wouldn't let you skip Gascoigne because in the alpha you can open it, but you can only open it from the other side, so it was planned to be a shortcut back around after you'd killed Gascoigne. And I'm guessing they just removed it because they didn't want the player going up the top where the cleric beast spawns from and seeing that there's nothing there. Is there anything else in Central Yharnam that we should have a look at? I haven't really... Oh, we'll go to Yosefka's clinic. Yeah, that's something we haven't done. I don't know how much health I have, so I'm just going to crush a vermin before I fall off this ledge. I've got 2 gold pendants in my inventory now. Now, I don't think there is much of anything interesting in... go to a cliff with... Will the shining coins drop? No, shining coins, gravity won't apply to them if I drop them in mid-air. They'll just float in the air. So... It's past Gascoigne time, so the imposter should be in the clinic now, right? Yeah, actually, I know what happens if I clip through the door here. So, but regardless of clipping through the door, let's use the free camera. Because I've already played around with no clip in the clinic plenty of times. Let's play around with free camera in the clinic. The cool thing to do is when you're standing in an area, to actually take the camera a little far away and look at the low polygon versions of nearby areas to see what's sort of changed since they were working on the, you know, older draft versions of places. You won't see much, but sometimes you'll see like a staircase used to be in a different position and things like that. So here's the... What are these called? Are these called Scourge Beasts? I can't actually remember. Second floor doesn't exist in retail. I don't think so. Can you enter the forest from here? Yeah, I could just go straight to the forest easily. What's inside the carriages? Let's have a look. I don't actually know. Oh, they're not rendering right now because they're too far away. That's alright, we'll get back to them. Will there be a VOD of this afterwards? Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, you can definitely use the free camera in the Chalice dungeons. You can use it anywhere that you take the monocular. I think I've been up here in retail on the second floor, and it does have... Oh, what's that? Oh no, that's just the roof of the nearby area. Oh, so we can see the imposter. Imposter has a gun? I guess I've only really fought it a few times. So the imposter's door is too far away from me, so it's not rendering. So yeah, you can just literally see her standing there. That's kind of cool. What's this? Is that like an upper area above the clinic? That's weird. I don't know what this area is, but it's above the, Can you change the lighting in Amygdala's place? I guess so. In the Yharnam sunrise ending, there seems to be a unique time of day in the cutscene. Do you think it would be possible to force that time of day in the actual game? Yeah, I mean, the files that handle the times of day in cutscenes are probably the same as the normal gameplay ones. The bitrate for this stream is 700k, 7 megabit. I'm not sure if that's too low for a 1080p one. So yeah, that's the imposter, as you can probably imagine. Someone said cute feet. They look like standard feet. Oh, they're missing now. Pretty standard feet. So let's go back. Let's just check out the second story in retail. If you didn't see my fairly old video of the alpha version of Yosefka's clinic, the second story is reasonably explorable. Bitrate would be better at 1500k. How would lower bitrate be better? Mysterious meow man. I wouldn't know, to be honest. Where's the second story? Here we go. Okay, let's, I think I should have probably just dropped it down to 720p and left it at 7 megabit. That would have looked way better. So yes, the second story does have clipping on it, so you can walk around. There's no gaps in the geometry, nope. In the alpha version, there is a door here, and there's not one here. You can go out into a little balcony and pick up an item. There was an item there in alpha, right? Yeah, I think there was. And these doors don't do anything in alpha, and in retail they don't do anything either. Cool. But in the alpha version, there's a doorway here, which lets you get on the roof outside. Or actually, you come in through it. I don't think you can get back out once you've come in. Meow, meow. I usually just call you Meow Man. Meow Meritus. Meow Meow. Interesting little thing is you can see where they've patched up a gap in the geometry here. I'm not sure how well you can... Oh, you can walk straight through it. Oh, right, okay. Whoa. So in the alpha, there's actually a gap in the banister there where you can drop down and hit this Scourge Beast. And you can see that they've patched it up visibly. There's no more gap there, but you can just walk straight through it, so they didn't put a clipping plane on it. Are there any mods you want to make but haven't been able to make yet in Bloodborne? Yeah, I want to be able to pause the game like in the Dark Souls 3 alpha during free camera. So sort of like how you have like a real photo mode. And I want to be able to fly up and down. I still don't have a way to fly up and fly down. I can only disable gravity and walk through walls in, what would you say, like X and Z axis. As soon as you clip through this wall, it triggers the next stage of Yosefka's quest line. So obviously the little blue men appear in here, men and women. Is the quality of the stream cycling between pixelated and clear for anyone else? I hope not. It probably is, hey. Oh, let me have a look at my streaming software too. Oh no, it says it's pretty happy. I wonder if it's on like constant bitrate or variable bitrate. Let me see if I can figure that out. Nope, it's on constant bitrate. Oh well, I'm not sure. So yeah, obviously the next stage of Yosefka's questline triggers. Maybe 7 megabit just isn't good enough. Maybe next time I'll crank it up. But the item to get to Canehurst is not here yet. So that's actually triggered by, I think by opening that door. So because I've sort of clipped in through the wrong direction, it's triggered half the quest, but not the other. I wonder why it's smearing so much. Let me have a quick look at my settings here. Oop, settings. I don't think I can change them in the middle of a stream anyway. Maybe I can. Let's just change it and see what happens. Let's set it to 10 megabit. Apply. Higher preset. Ooh. Oh no, that's okay. Yeah. It doesn't give you many options, does it? Oh well. 10 megabit. Oh cool, I can change the megabits while the stream's running. Let's clip through this door and open it from the other side. And does that make the Canehurst summon spawn? It does not. Okay. I think it spawns maybe when you're a little further up that hallway. Yeah. Alright. So if I go up far enough, when do you get insight? I've already got it. Okay. Now if I come back, the Canehurst summons should be there. Yeah, there it is. Cool. So we'll obviously use that today. That would be good. And we've progressed Yosefka's quest line to the second last stage, I guess. So she'll be waiting to fight me now. Let's see what she's... I think we can probably guess. But let's go free camera. Whoa. Oh, that's like, yeah, where we left the camera before. Where are we? Here we go. So Yosefka should just be waiting for me in the corner of her room. It's so dark. Is she floating up in the air? No, she's just not even loaded in yet. So some of you might remember in that alpha version video I did, there was an old lady waiting in here. But she actually was supposed to be like floating in a room out here. Yeah, she was kind of around here. But no matter what I've done, I've never found any pieces or parts of you know, what else was supposed to be out here. They deleted the whole room, but just left her behind. Really strange omission. You can kite the Celestial Emissary Osefka all the way to Central Yarnum. That's really good. Where am I? Yeah, here's where the Moonlit Scents are. What's that? Yeah, there we go.
Moonlit Scents.
You can create some really cinematic angles. Hey, let's just go.
Very unfortunate.
It's cool.
I had such high hopes for you.
Here we go.
I won't make any excuses.
Hang on.
Would you mind
All
leaving us
right.
alone?
What's she doing? Is she just standing in the corner?
Things need not
Yes,
change.
she just stands in the corner and
You'll
waits
do
for
the
you.
rescuing,
Where's
and I'll
that
do the
gun?
saving. But if you refuse
Bizarre.
to leave, oh well.
Oh no, you can't see her feet.
I've always
What a
wanted to
tragedy.
try my
Oh, you
hand
can,
on a
damn
hunter.
it. Also, in the alpha version, there was like some sort of altar or something at the back of this room. I'm gonna have to revisit that because I was looking at the clipping information for this area, and yeah, there was something strange about it. Something strange. I don't know. It was weird. There was like two different versions of the clipping plane for this area, and one of them was dramatically different than the other. She has a repeating pistol. Okay, that's cool. Koda, is there any way to get this mod? Not really. I made it myself. There's not much like hidden outside the map in this area. Even before I had the free camera, I spent a fair bit of time just clipping through the walls instead. Here we go. I like how this one still has 5 fingers, but on the other hand it has 6, does it? There's not much inside the table. Is it 6 fingers the emissaries have? Or whatever they're called? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. That's cool. Do they have 6 toes? No, they don't. And yeah, not much to see outside the clinic. Except one bookshelf. And yeah, in the alpha version there was clipping all over this roof here. You could explore it and you could get on this balcony. But yeah, they removed the door and just bricked it up. Alright, I think we're pretty much it's 6 in one hand and 7 on the other? Maybe. Early versions of the Forbidden Woods. Instead of going to the grave, you go into the altar. I don't know. Will you be doing this for Sekiro when it comes out? Do you think it'll be interesting to see cut content? I have no idea. Because that game's being released on PC and PS4 at the same time, PC users will actually be on it way faster. So I'll sort of just probably be playing catch up a few months to a year after release. I'm certainly in no rush to explore and hack Sekiro. I'd rather explore it without hacking quite a bit first. Am I invincible? I can't remember if I used a vermin or not. Is this little guy? Yeah, let's just continue on our way to Cathedral Ward. I don't know where the Hunter's Mark will take me, probably back to Gilbert's house. Yeah, what's going on with the compression? Maybe like... You can't change the... Now the encoder's just set to X286, I mean X264. Let's like... CPU usage preset. Let's put it on like... Oh, maybe let's put it on like medium? I assume I can do that like while the stream is still running. Cool, maybe. Maybe. Let's see what happens. Let me know if it gets better in like the next 15 seconds. Alright. Honestly, the quickest way to get back to Cathedral Ward is probably just to run there. Rather than going through all the loading screens. Probably. I'm probably going to regret saying that. I like how you can get really up close with the like the artwork everywhere as well. Oh yeah, the lever under here. I think I should be able to see it now. If you come at it from far away, it should be visible. Is it down there? Nope. It only renders... You can only see it from certain distances. Yeah, it's not there at the moment. That's weird. Oh, it's all good. I love how you can see all of Old Yarnum out there as well. Let's get the monocular out and have a look. Ooh. Where am I? Where's me? Over here. Where am I? Am I floating in the air somewhere? It's really hard to find yourself when you're just out in the middle of space. Oh, anyway. Yeah, all of Old Yarnum is here. So there's like the entrance where you enter Old Yarnum from. And there's usually a statue floating in the air when you get there, and then you run across this bridge and a little guy runs at you. And you come down here and Jura starts yelling at you. And you run down here. It's amazing how much detail they put into this whole area. And then you come inside and yeah, you basically come into this room, then you step down a little bit into the room with all the explosive pots. Then you cross a little bridge and there's heaps of crows and you go in the door and the guy kind of jumps out of this circular building to give you a fright. Come out here, I think it's all on fire. Look at this, is all rendered even when you're standing in Central Yarnum. It kind of gives up around here though. The shortcut staircase, ladder is here. Takes you down to this little platform, and then you go in here to get to the lower half of Old Yarnum, which is not rendered, but the rendering does pick back up around here. Where are we? I'm a bit lost, but is that the door the werewolf jumps out of? And then you continue to the left. No, that's not right. That's not right. I'm looking at it the wrong way. Regardless, all of Old Yarnum is here, and it's an incredible amount of detail. Yeah, there's the stairs you go down that have a Wandering Madness on them, and the boss room is over here. So we should technically be just up above. The bridge leading to Gascoigne should be right here. Yeah, it all matches up. That's a pretty good effort they put into all this, making it all make sense. Anything special about the statue? I'm not sure which statue you mean, sorry. I'm only checking the chat periodically. It's hard to see while I play the game. Alright, let's just proceed back through Gascoigne's arena. And I want to check out if you can actually see like Gascoigne's post-transformation state hiding under the arena while you fight him. Unfortunately, I can't test whether enemies aggro before or after you step through the fog gate, like if it will aggro if I clip through it, because I have all the AI turned off anyway. So Gascoigne is still here waiting for us because we never killed him. But if we take the free camera below his arena, I think I just accidentally hit him. Where is he? There he is. Look at him. I would say the level of detail, like on the distant objects, is all procedurally generated, but baked, like procedurally generated before the game shipped, meaning, you know, lots of details that weren't needed did make it into it. Here we go. So yeah, Gascoigne's post-transformation mode is hiding under the map. So there's us, there's Gascoigne, it's directly under him. There he is. And I call the Wandering Madnesses Wandering Madnesses. Beast things. The Wandering Madnesses look really good up close. Oh, Jesus. I wonder if I could like clip down here and fight him. I won't be able to figure that out because there's not really anywhere low enough to get me down here. Anyway, that's all good. Let's continue on to... What is this huge statue? There's not really anything to explore with regard to that. You can see the whole thing as it is. Scurry beast. Call them grizzle lizards. I still can't open this door because I haven't killed Gascoigne. Okay. Peeve me. I'm absolutely fine with Sekiro not having multiplayer. I always play Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 offline anyway. I don't update to the latest version, and my consoles are never connected to the internet, and I don't have PSN Plus, so I don't care. It's fine. I'm more concerned with, you know, just switching to a new publisher, like how that will be handled. If there's an expansion pack, will it get a physical release on disc, or will it be download only? Things like that, in the sense of software preservation, are more my concern. And when switching to a Western publisher like Activision, sometimes things that are important to Japanese publishers don't really matter so much, and one of those things is that everything gets a physical release in Japan. Where are we? Oh, we loaded a new map, so we're That's funny. If you transition from one map to another, the camera doesn't update. It still stays where you left it. So I'm a bit lost now. Here's the entrance to Old Yarnum. And I should just be standing up here. Alright, cool. I wonder if the second floor moves around following his X and Z. It probably doesn't, because the game usually just does a warp to other entity, like it will warp one entity to another in real time. But it's very hard for the game engine to do like one entity following another one around. It has to have a series of like, there's like a third entity that acts as a tether between them and things like that. So it's more likely he just sits below the map and teleports at the right moment. Now, something I want to check out, and obviously use in the chat, feel free to suggest things to check out too. I love how the orphanage looks from here. It's so ominous. And like the first time I played Bloodborne, I didn't even find the orphanage. So there was just this big scary building. And I always wondered what it was. You can just always see it from the distance there. Let's check out. No, there's not much to see with the low poly version of the Astral Clock Tower. No, that's all good. The low poly orphanage is not really that interesting, is it? Has no interior or anything like that. Now what I want to check out is the entrance to Old Yarnum. Activision might not give them a choice. Yeah, I don't know about Activision. They do some things that aren't bad. But at the end of the day, it's not really the fact that it's Activision that I'm worried about, it's the fact that it's a Western company that I'm worried about. And it's, yeah, it comes down to lots of things like timed demos and microtransactions obviously being one. I'm not that worried about that with Sekiro. It's just DLC, expansion packs, and you know, little things. I hope that there's like a special edition or something in a year's time that has all the content included, because a lot of American-made games don't get that sort of treatment, and that's what I rely on. I don't like going online and asking permission every time I want to play an expansion pack. I like to just hold it in my hand. Oh, Catalash is here. Hello. So what I wanted to check out here is Catalash in the chat actually made a tool that allows you to view the collision of the maps. So everything that you bump into shows up as like a cube and that sort of thing. And I noticed in the alpha version of this area, which I don't have the map for, but I do have the collision, there's a whole other area just over here. So I was curious if there's anything behind there at all in the final version of the game. I'm guessing not. Nope, it just leaks out into the rest of the map. But in the alpha version, there's like a staircase kind of here that leads down and pretty much goes nowhere. But considering where it is, it probably used to lead to Old Yarnum, and it kind of makes sense that because Old Yarnum doesn't physically make sense geometrically, I guess that's what you'd say. When you travel down into Old Yarnum, the world actually performs an impossible rotation to make you pop out where you do. But maybe if you once went down a staircase there, maybe it would have made more sense. Maybe. Maybe. Meow Meritus, you wrote the geometry render code of the viewer. That's really good. I've been using it in wireframe. I don't know if there's a better way to use it yet. Still have that version. Actually, Meow, I think you compiled it for me as well. I think it was you who did that. I passed the collision. What firmware is my PS4 on? It doesn't matter. I'm sure you can guess one of the 3 that it could possibly be on that makes this possible. So I don't have a particular reason to go to Old Yarnum, but that's no reason not to just go in and explore. I like this really dark room. I recall this monster being really hard to see the first time I played the game, but coming in with the benefit of knowing that it's there, it always seems a lot less scary, like it's easy to see. I don't know how it ever snuck up on me. Yeah, when I say it performs a rotation, like, so when you come into Old Yarnum, you can actually, you perform this little 180-degree turn here and all that, and you saw how earlier I was using the free camera to show how interconnected the whole world is. I'm pretty sure that if you think about it logically, when you step out here, in order for you to be facing the Great Bridge, I think the Great Bridge is right in front of us now, is it? There it is, the Great Bridge is up there somewhere. Hang on, look at my bearings. Come on, stop talking. Hang on, where am I? So I'm in Old Yarnum. There's me somewhere. And the Great Bridge should be like... Yeah, the Great Bridge is in front of me, over here. But in order for that to be possible, taking into account the path I travelled to get here, I would have had to turn like 90 degrees in a different direction. So I'm wondering if, yeah, there was a different entrance to Old Yarnum before, and I'm wondering if that little staircase that I saw in the alpha version collision might have been related to that. But that's obviously just, you know, wondering. I don't know. It was just a random staircase. Yarnum has all the geometry that does not make sense. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. With regard to the interconnected world in Bloodborne, it's surprisingly complete. Where's that floating statue? There it is. So a lot of you probably know that there's a floating statue in Old Yarnum that you can see from pretty much anywhere. But this is the first time I've ever actually gotten this close to it. I got fairly close to it in the boundary break video. But it's two statues clipping through each other, maybe even more. So there's like a head, and then there's like another statue that's like leaning over with a veil on. And there's like arms down here, so there's probably about 3 statues all combined together. I think the developers just had a whole bunch of unused statues and then just crammed them into one corner and forgot to turn them off. I don't know. I don't know why that's there. So I'm just quickly having a look at the chat. YMFAH. Hello. Alright, so I'm still invincible, so I should be able to just freely explore wherever I want. Something I was checking out quite a bit is these buildings. Some of them have like interiors. This guy's not going to run at me, is he? You have any plans to do something in Demon Souls? Yeah, I just haven't got my PS3 set up at the moment. Meow Maritus. I don't think that's 000 in this map. I can't remember where 000 was, if it's not. But let's find out. Is there a lantern in this area? Where's the lantern? Do I have to go kill the blood-starved beast? Oh, by the way, Jura does not shoot you when AI is disabled. Something that I noticed, which is going to annoy me for the rest of my life now. Oh, of course there's a lantern over there. I didn't even think of that. This is going to annoy me forever. It's one of those things where once you see it, you can't unsee it. But Jura is standing up there, and he's so far away that his cloth physics haven't initialized. So his cape is actually floating in the air behind him, and it's clear to see, even from this far away, looking up at him. You actually can't get close enough to him to make his cloth physics render. So he just looks like a blur, pretty much, from this far away. But if you get close, his cape is floating in the air behind him, which is fine because he's super far away, so who cares? But you can actually see it from down here. And now I'm never going to be able to unsee that big mass behind him isn't just like his body, it's his cape floating with no physics. I wish they had to put like an exception on him to make his cloth physics render at a greater distance or something. But I still appreciate that you can see him there, and he's in a special position and everything. Like, they went through the effort of putting him in a custom pose so that he's leaning up against his Gatling gun, but they didn't do anything about his cloth physics. This Gatling gun is weird looking. It's like a briefcase attached to the front of it. Oh, it's like full of bullets. It's very steampunk Gatling gun. Yeah, it's surprising. They went through the effort of making him look good far away, and then forgot that there were limitations of the engine when it comes to looking good from far away. I always wonder a bit about this clock tower. Like, it looks like a celestial clock tower. So old Yarnum had a clock tower as well, I guess. Yarnum just has clock towers, even old and new. Whoops, I'm locked onto an enemy. Alright, so is there anything else a bit weird to take a look at in Old Yarnum? I love all the skips that involve falling down there and seeing the game world load in real time. Yeah, beautiful bear in a tutu. You said you wonder if you can see it with a normal monocular. You definitely could, because I can see it clearly without the monocular, like sitting in front of my screen looking at it. Yeah, when it comes to Old Yarnum, I don't think there's much... I think Old Yarnum was made a while ago, like early in development, and the design was fairly nailed down early. So there isn't much evidence of things changing haphazardly, except for the fact that the whole area was rotated about 90 degrees, so it doesn't make sense anymore. Oh, that guy's got a scripted attack as well. That's cool. I like that there's this staircase going up, and if you take the free camera all the way to the top, where am I? I'm over here. I'm getting good at finding myself quickly. If you take the camera all the way to the top, I think the staircase actually pops out the top. It does. That's a nice bit of effort they've put into that. It does actually stop at a wall, but it's nice that they designed that tower to make some amount of sense. There we go. Alright, let's continue. Now, I think it was this room here. I always wondered, like, oh, is there ever anything in here? I think it has a floor. By the way, I'm probably going to die a few times exploring this stuff by just falling out of the game world. If I start falling, I can't stop. So the interior of this is rendered to some degree, but not enough to suggest that there was ever anything else here. It's just one of those buildings that has lots of detail. But most of Bloodborne has lots of detail in it anyway, so that's okay. There's like a hunter down here, isn't there? There he is. So I'm just reading the chat for a second. I've fallen down and can't get up. Let's check this guy out. They all have unique faces, the NPCs, don't they? I know there's like a database online of all the face ID data stuff, so you can create your own characters that look exactly like them. Okay. Shall we go up onto Jura's Tower? The good thing about Jura's Tower, I think it's the highest point in the map, which means that if I disable gravity up there, you can sort of get to other areas. I used to have a mod, I don't use it much anymore, which would disable gravity, but it wouldn't let you walk through walls. So you could use it to walk through the sky and get on a rooftop and sort of glitch yourself up higher using the roof peaks. And I used that to almost get high enough to touch those floating statues. Like these pointed roofs, you could sort of glitch yourself up against them, and you would you'd just go higher and higher and higher. Dura doesn't do much when his AI is disabled. He certainly won't talk to you, because he's in his hostile state. Can I just kick him off? No, you can't kick in Bloodborne, can you? Bammo! Oh, not good enough. There he goes. Isn't that the way 99% of people kill Jura? Where does he even land? I guess he falls out of the map. Alright, got some souls. So from here, yeah, you're not quite high enough. Yeah, the floating statues are still up a little higher. Where are we? Where are we? The free camera has 3 movement speeds as well. Yeah, there we go. So it's got like normal speed and extra slow speed for cinematic shots, I guess. And then extra fast speed for just getting around. The moon looks really cool. And it actually is a sphere in almost every map. I think there's like 2 maps where it's not a sphere. Good golly. That's what everything looks like from the moon. That's what the moon presence can see all the time. Right. So, I think I'm invincible. Let's find out. It doesn't matter if you're invincible if you hit like a scripted death floor, regardless. That's fine. Now I can read the chat for a second. Yeah, the moon, you say the moon looks like a sun. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Meow who actually got the textures out of the moon. And it actually was called like sun, I think. So the first celestial body you see in the game. Wow, have I seriously not unlocked any other lanterns? I didn't unlock the one in Cathedral Ward. Oh my god. That's alright, I can run there really quickly. The sun, yeah, the first orb you see in the sky in the game is actually the sun, apparently. I guess, I don't know about canonically, but internally. That's what the developers called it. Must have been Drop Off or someone like that who pulled the textures out. Yeah, I don't have no dead feature. Yeah, I tried to start this stream at a time where it was like Saturday night late in the USA, I think. So who wouldn't want to spend a Saturday night up late watching this great content? It's like 7 p.m. in Australia on Sunday at the moment. Yeah, Dane, you say, yeah, the sun goes down and the moon comes up. But I always liked the thought that it's not really the moon, it's like an old one or a great one, it's the moon presence, and it doesn't really go down or up, it just comes closer to Yharnam the closer you get to Murgo. So the idea that it is just straight up the sun kind of breaks that theory in half. Alright, once again I have to... Can I see? Oh, it's alright. I thought before the floor loaded I might have been able to see Gascoigne's beast mode down below. I really need to unlock some lanterns and start heading towards Amelia so we can get to the DLC. That'd be the way to go. The DLC is the good stuff. It's like the weirdest stuff. Got back from late night Lyft driving. We don't have Lyft where I live. Or Uber. Time is convoluted. These transient lands. Yeah, I think if someone like did Uber or Lyft where I live, they would get like one customer a week. We also don't have things like, in other countries, do you have Foodora or Uber Eats? We have that in like the cities in Australia, but we don't have it where I live. I seriously didn't light this lamp. That's stupid. Silly man. Alright, I'm done with Old Yharnam, unless someone can suggest something there that's actually worth checking out. Let's mess things up a little bit and just go straight to Upper Cathedral Ward. Because that's really one of the coolest parts of the game. Is this? Yeah, the elevator's here. It's alright. Someone's breaking the sequence like that can do some funny stuff. I like how once again we have a scripted attack here from this fellow, but the tracking doesn't work, so he just always flies in the same direction. Okay, yeah, let's head to two places. Let's go to the old abandoned workshop first. You just go this way for that. So you can see it down there. You can see, did you ever notice you can actually see the great tree that Gammon sleeps under? Oh, there's 000. Where am I? Uh-oh, I think I just accidentally fell off a cliff because I pushed R2 while I was in I did. I did. I accidentally pressed R2 while I was using the free camera and it made me fall off the edge of what do you call it? The Healing Church workshop. Oh, that's good. Yeah, as Catalash just said, from distance areas you can notice quite clearly that areas like the Living Failures boss arena does not exist at low poly. You can really tell the Living Failures was a boss fight that was made at the last minute. Obviously when they were splitting or mashing the DLC into a single package and that the Living Failures is a stupid boss fight. In Australia, I live in like country Victoria. Alright, here we go. Let's not do a terrible job this time. I bet I could probably figure out how to turn off the L2 and R2 attacks if I really tried, but I haven't really tried. And that's okay. Dark Souls 3 has the exact same developer camera where the game logic continues while you're operating the free camera, and in that, the L2 and R2 attacks don't work. So it really doesn't matter if I face the wall or not, because as soon as you use the monocular, the character spins around for some reason. So I'll just not use the L2 and R2 buttons. But let's take a look at the low poly version of the... Where am I? Old Abandoned Workshop. And see what's actually down there in the fog. I'm pretty sure it's surprisingly highly detailed. Maybe it's not. Oh my god, no, it's just a tree. The tree's all that's down here. It gets a little more detailed once you get into the interior of the Healing Church workshop. Oh, we can see the Hunter's workshop here. Oh yeah, and there's the path. Okay, I was wrong. It's fairly detailed. So here's the footpath. Wow, it really goes a while. So hang on, where are we? Just gotta get my head around this. So there's the hunters. Nope, hang on, I'm lost. Where's the tree? There's the tree. Is the workshop here? Yes, there's the workshop. Okay, okay. So the workshop is here. There's where the door would be, and the little steps that go past all the awakening stones. Doll would be standing about there. Oh yeah. The messenger bath would be about here. Okay, and here's all the like, what do you call it? The chalice dungeon thingies, where you would perform chalice rituals. Me and Richard Pilbeam have talked about the layout of the dream a lot, and it's pretty likely based on some of the environment map textures that this is basically just where the chalice dungeon generation stones are, is probably basically where the main stones of awakening used to be. Which kind of adds up with the fact that they haven't put Stones of Awakening here in the low poly one, but they did go through the effort of putting Stones of Awakening up here. There's no way in hell you would ever see this from up where... Oh, hang on, is the stone that goes to the DLC even here? Nah. Not to suggest the DLC would have been there that early in development or anything, but the Stones of Awakening on the opposite side. Anyway, that's very, very interesting, the amount of detail they put into that area, despite it being completely shrouded in fog. How easy is it to get God mode mods and stuff in these games? I think it's hard, but I'm not an incredibly technically proficient person. I just try over and over and over again until it works. The idea of how easy is it is really, really subjective. And the low poly version of the Grand Cathedral is not interesting yet. It'll get more interesting as we get closer. Warp stones. Yeah, that's another good way to put the Stones of Awakening. Let's head into the old abandoned workshop, but I am mostly interested in heading into Upper Cathedral Ward soon. So how easy will it be to get to the workshop? It'll be incredibly easy, won't it? Let's go like this. Oh no! I stepped out too early. Oh, there's no way to get back up there, is there? Damn it! Alright, well now we're in this place instead. Oh, that's good. That's fine. That's fine. It doesn't matter. It's not like I was gonna die. No one is... It's so easy to forget this whole area exists. Like, I always forget. Yeah, there is like another little back street in, Central Yarnum. No, Cathedral Ward. Cathedral Ward. You don't really need... You don't need to come here, do you? You can skip the whole area by... How do you skip it? I can't remember. You go through the Central Plaza, I think. Remember in early versions of Bloodborne there was a hole in the wall here and you could fall out of the map? Now they've made it like push you back if you try. But yeah, if you ran in there in like version 1.0 you would fall down and die. There's not much to check out around here, is there? Surely not. But while we're here, let's have a look at like what distance models are loaded in this area. Can you see anything like the... What the hell is this stuff? Why would this stuff be loaded? It's just a random part of like the circular plaza and something. I cannot imagine what that is. Oh, the emblem, the emblem. Yeah, of course, that's how you skip the thingy. I don't usually buy the emblem, except for like lore reasons. No, there's not really much happening outside the map out here, is there? It's always interesting just seeing the junk floating around though, that either is or is not used, but doesn't have its display flags set up correctly. Like half a staircase? That's probably actually a staircase that does exist in the game, but I'm just having trouble reconciling its position. Yeah, Catalash, sometimes I'm lazy and set the draw groups to FFFFF as well to make discovering things a lot easier. Alright, let's fix up this small mistake that I've made, because I do want to go to the old abandoned workshop. Are there any lanterns nearby that I haven't lit? I don't think there is. Oh, Cleric Beast's internal name is Hunter Chief. Really? I thought it was like parish chief. I thought it was like a religious name, like a member of a religious organization, which Google Translate sets to parish. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I can't remember. If you glitch through Yaragul, there are no enemies there. Yeah, that's right. Until you get to the second half of Yaragul. I thought that lady might be there. Yeah, one of the earliest things I ever did when I was learning about modding this game was delete the door to Yaragul, because I'm not very good at death cam skips, and went and explored that area. Don't use that, use the vermin. That lady, Eileen, that lady, that woman. I actually, the Hunter Chief emblem, I always wondered if it was a mistranslation of Handkerchief emblem, like if it was written in katakana and the translation team got it wrong. But I don't think that's the case. But it would be funny if, you know, Hunter Chief and Handkerchief were the same katakana, but that's not the case. It's just it was just something I wondered in passing at the time. But I also wondered the same thing about the Cold Blood. I don't know what Cold Blood is called in the Japanese version, but I always assumed it was a mistranslation of cord blood, like umbilical cord blood, because the term cold blood never made any sense to me. But I'm probably wrong about that as well. It's probably just called cold blood, and it's like blood that goes cold and turns into weird shards of some sort. Hunter Chifu. Okay, Hunter Chifu. Definitely not handkerchief. Where's the door? There it is. Let's do this properly this time. Whoops. Oh, can I just like... I can just drop down to the roof of the entrance. Bonk. They always put geometry on the outside of hallways too. There's the old abandoned workshop at a reasonably low... I think it's like coagulated blood. Yeah, that's about it, isn't it? I don't know why it's cold blood though. Alright, so is there... Do you think there's geometry up here? Like, can I walk up here? I just don't want to try and die. So I want to make sure I'm standing like in a safe spot to try out this sort of stupid experiment. Hang on a sec. Does the hallway... Oh yeah, for a second I thought the hallway didn't line up properly. Oh, no geometry there. That's okay, we're in the hallway now. I like how you get insight for discovering the old abandoned workshop. Hello Mashurina, Mashmaro, and Rinaberry. I live stream very rarely. This is where you stand to hear sex noises, which I still haven't found the MSB object that causes that. Actually, Catalash, if you open this map in your map viewer, you should have a look if there's a sound effects area around here that triggers that weird noise, and see if it's got a description from the developers. That would be really interesting. Oh, I see, Meow. You say the cold blood means like a cold body. That makes sense. So let's get our little monocular out. What the heck is that? What's all this dark stuff? Oh, it's just like the atmospheric change as you go down the the Healing Church workshop. So here we are in the old abandoned workshop. How much effort did they put into the roof, which you basically never see? Yeah, I guess you can mostly see it from far away. It's fully rendered at the very least. The the path I showed earlier connect to anywhere else? Nah, not really. Everyone's saying the what now, but I'm not sure what you're referring to. So the base of the tree obviously has nothing there in the old abandoned version. There's no area for Gascoigne, sorry, for German to be chilling out. And the area where the gate would be is basically nothing, is it? Yeah, that would be like down around here somewhere. Yeah, nothing there. And there's nothing hiding under the map that makes that weird noise, is there? Oh, Everyone's like, what sex noises do you mean? If you come to this area in before the blood moon and stand right here and turn your sound effects up as loud as they go, maybe the like the voice effects, you'll hear some really weird noises. That's actually a sound effect sliced from one of the NPC residents in the streets below. And I seriously doubt it's a glitch, because I cannot imagine how a glitch like that would happen. Like that would take a part of a sound effect. Is the doll just still chilling out as normal before you get there? Same animation as usual? Does her finger still wiggle? Wiggle? Yep, still moves. They deliberately did that. That's really good. Yeah, it moves the whole time. It's got like a slow breathing to it. And it's got like a pulse as well. Hang on, how do I do slow camera? There we go. Look at that, that's really cool. Circular window outside the distant manor also has no texture to make it see-through. Yeah. Someone asked how do you make the free camera happen and all that, how you make this mod. It was hard. It was hard. For me. I'm sure as someone who was more competent than me could just do it a lot faster. But I did it anyway, and I'm happy. I'm proud of myself. Not much else to check out here. Oh, except, what does the area leading to Yargul look like at this distance? Ooh, there's really not much to it, is there? So here's where you would come from the Grand Cathedral. And, oh, here's that roof that's got a crow on it. And you would usually like drop down. Oh yeah, the staircase is here. And there's a Wandering Madness hiding in there, I believe. Will this stream be online after finishing? Yeah, I'll probably tweet out a link to it or something like that. Maybe it's the sound effect for German helping himself to the doll. Yeah. Here's the circular plaza where you fight the two hunters. There's a few NPC doors over there. Eventually you go around the back and encounter a snatcher. I can't remember what the snatchers are officially called. And then you descend this cliff face, drop down a few. There's some riflemen. Drop down all the way to the bottom where there is a whole bunch of Wandering Madnesses. It all really adds up, doesn't it? And then you go into the... I call this the Nightmare Church. I don't think that's like the official name for it though. But I do like that there's a lead elixir in here, like on the floor, and it says that they're always found in close proximity to nightmares. It's a nice little detail. I like the eldritch weirdness of the structures on top of the old abandoned workshop as well. Just a little bit Lovecraftian. Strange. Alright, anyway, that's enough. I think that's enough of the old abandoned workshop. Oh, Richard, you didn't see the part of the stream where I showed the cleric beast spawn. I actually went like full free camera and like triggered the boss fight. And in the retail version, it's not behind the wall. It's there, but it's invisible, whereas in the alpha it was visible. Hunter's Mark will take me where I want to go, right? I'm pretty sure this will take me back to Erden Chapel. Erden? Or Eden. I don't know. It's kind of like Oedipus. Now it's spelled different than Oedipus, right? Did you zoom into the bodies hanging from the towers? I'm not sure what bodies you mean. I should have probably checked out some of the things in Old Yarnum up close, like the big hanging corpse. You can't open this door from the other side too. Lots of doors in the game you can clip through, then turn around and open them. But you actually have to defeat the blood-starved beast to open that one. Fortunately, I already opened this gate. That was thoughtful of me. I was just doing that while I was distracted. Look at these guys. I like having the AI disabled. Really helps you appreciate the faces on the enemies. Arden Chapel. Arden. I didn't know there were any NPCs who said Erden. Huh. Yeah. I have to think about that. I've probably just forgotten. The distrustful man probably says it or something like that. That'll let us... Yeah, I should be able to get into the forest easily. Oh, I completely forgot what I was doing. I was actually going to go to Upper Cathedral Ward. I'm still going to do that, actually. Let's do it. Chapel Bro says, Eileen says it does. She okay. I'd believe that with her bonkers accent. God, where am I? What have I done? You can usually run to Upper Cathedral Ward from here. Yeah, let's... What do you think the chances are that the low poly version of this map lines up with the high poly one so well that I can actually land on the low poly version and it will load the high poly one? Oh, there's an item up there, so it shows that the game logic is like lining up pretty good. This may cause me to fall to my death. Come on, FromSoft. Oh, it worked! Oh, that's great. They really got it to line up perfectly. Can we see Amelia's face? Yeah, let's definitely check out Amelia's face. Yeah, Eileen's accent is funny. Oops, I gotta go out here, don't I? Number of times I accidentally fall off this thing because I'm using the free camera is ridiculous. Oh, you can see quite a bit of the Yara Ghul Plaza down here as well. Let's just go in for one more look. And remember not to press R2 or I'll die. Where am I? There's the tree. It's all the fog. Okay, so the path to Yara Ghul is a little different now, I think. So there's the house that you jump on the roof of, and the staircase is actually rendering now. You can't really see where it connects up to the cathedral though. Yeah, you just kind of get this rocky area. Technically you would come from like up there, sort of. It's weird. Yeah, Katalash, the collision is usually pretty good at all times. It's just sometimes you'll go to land on, especially when it comes to like areas like this and the old abandoned workshop, they don't line up. The visible part of it does not line up even remotely with where it actually appears in the game layout. So if you tried to land in the middle of the workshop from far away, it's like the workshop's actually a kilometer to the left or right. How the PS4 deals the free camera. Sometimes after 1 hour of Bloodborne, it seems that it deals with it fine. It deals with it fine. It doesn't overheat or anything. It's the middle of summer here at the moment actually though, so it's incredibly hot in this room. Oh yeah, so this is a bit different. So you come down here to the central plaza, there's a Wandering Madness hiding in that corner, and you fight 2 hunters here. And there's a little structure here that's not there in the final game. You actually see this structure in Old Yarnum, and you can stand on it too. Even though you can't get up there in the game, if you use no clip to get there, you can stand on it. Now we just go straight down a staircase. And I guess there's another staircase off to the right of the Nightmare Church. So I guess originally, look at the texture on that. I hope the stream's holding up okay. Oh, Lee, maybe it is normally a well. That texture's stupid. But I guess there was once, unless it's just totally random, like there's a chance that the developers just clipping random garbage into the distance models. But I'd say maybe there used to be a staircase heading down to the Nightmare Church. Maybe. And then you just get random junk in the distance. And in case you don't know, I've spoken about this before, but most of the random junk is carbon copies of Old Yarnum. So this is the door where the Scourge Beast jumps out and gives you a fright. And then you turn left and go up a little ramp. This is Old Yarnum, which is a complete copy of it in the background. Eventually you would go down here and fight the Bloodstarved Beast, but they've just smashed a building into the way. You can kind of see it through there. What a mess. It's like 2 Old Yarnums mashed together. Yeah, there's Dura's Tower. You can see the clock face on it. And there's another Dura's Tower. You can see the clock face on it. Yeah, so for all the distance models, it's just all Old Yarnum. There's another Old Yarnum. There's the bridge you walk across at the start. That's got the little beast patient, is that what they're called, on it? Alright, let's get back to it. I'm getting so distracted on the way to Upper Cathedral Ward. Okay. There's no scripted attacks here, I don't think. Here we go. And we obviously, yeah, just walk straight through the door to the Upper Cathedral Ward. I always think this whole area is called the Choir, That's the name of the trophy you get when you first walk in. Apparently I already have the trophy on this PS4. Now I've talked about this area a million times before, but I think maybe for a few people this will be their first time watching the channel. Oh, by the way, make sure you subscribe if you don't already, if you like weird Bloodborne videos. So let's talk about this again, even though I've talked about it plenty of times before. We're obviously in Upper Cathedral Ward. I need to bring my free camera back around. How do I get back to where I was? Over here? There's the orphanage. So there's me. Okay. So we're in Upper Cathedral Ward. Don't forget to mention the bell icon. There's the Celestial Clock Tower. Is that what you call it? The Astral Clock Tower? Astral Clock Tower. So that means, let's just help everyone get their bearings. Down here is the staircase you walk up to get to Vicar Amelia, and you go in there and fight her, and then come back down, and obviously at the bottom of the staircase, it's all very well rendered. There's the gate, which I haven't opened, so I appreciate that's not open there as well, and there's the central circular plaza. Oh, there's just a door there. That's never a door there in the final game, but there is one there in the Yharnam Sunrise ending, so that's something to think about. Now, I was just reading the chat, sorry about the hunt leader's mark. Well, there we go. So now, this is interesting, and I've mentioned this before, so I'm sorry if this is just me repeating myself. But if you go to the left of the Grand Cathedral entrance, obviously you would come to Hemwick. Now, check this out. At this great distance, you can still read the sign that says Hemwick, and that's amazing. That's really good. So they render the little texture that says Hemwick quite clearly above the doorway to Hemwick, even though you're a million kilometers away from it and couldn't possibly see it. I guess they just didn't make a low texture variant of that one, maybe. Yeah, that's cool. But the alternative being, if you're standing in front of the Grand Cathedral, oh, you never noticed that sign before? Yeah, that sign is there even when you get to Hemwick in general. I didn't find that myself. There's a nice YouTube video about the little details in Bloodborne where someone else pointed that out. Now, usually you would go to the right, and you would proceed quite happily towards the Nightmare Church, which is down the stairs and through the plaza, which we've talked about a million times already. But there's something a little different when you look at it from up here. You're actually seeing an older draft version of this layout. So you wouldn't be able to just walk to the Nightmare Church because there's a fence in the way. And you might think like, oh, that's just like low poly whatever, they just randomly picked some stuff there, but that's not the case. This fence was originally here, and what you had to do was enter this area through a completely different direction. You would actually come down an elevator shaft. This elevator shaft, you would come down, and you would walk out this little door, and then you would be on the other side of that fence, and you would be able to happily proceed. So there's like a little elevator opening there. You would happily proceed down to Yahar Ghul, or the Nightmare Church. And so that would obviously break up the flow of the game. You could not happily go to Yahar Ghul. So what did you have to do to get there? Let's just return our free camera to somewhere sensible so I can find it again later. In case you couldn't tell, the free camera always stays where you left it. And let's actually just warp straight over to where I need to be. I'll just have to clip through some doors. I'm going to light this lantern too, because I'm sure I'll appreciate it later if I do. Give it up. Okay. So let's just... I really appreciate how... Everyone knows this, but I don't know what these are called. I think they're called like From Moon or something like that. These little dudes. They're all crawling towards Ebrietus, who I think is underground down there. I like that little detail. Like, can you see the Hemwick sign from up here? Oh, you can! You can actually see the Hemwick sign from up here. So I was wrong saying you would never be able to see it. Katalash, I have the music turned off, sorry, because when I started this stream, I was a bit unsure about the audio levels. So sorry about that. Yeah, Ipa, they probably are called orphans. I spend more time, yeah, celestial larvae is probably what they're called in the guidebook. I spend more time looking at the internal names of enemies rather than the canonical names of them. Meridal, there's not less mist than usual, this is pretty standard. Can you see Amelia when above her boss arena? Good question, let's check that out. So anyway, as I was saying, there was a elevator that you would come down. And that elevator, the Celestial Emissary will spawn if I drop down here, right? Yeah. The elevator was actually originally how you left this room. You have a nice little wall here. But based on the version of what's this game called? This map, the version of this map that was left behind in Dark Souls Remastered. If you're familiar with my channel, you know there was an alpha version of this map left behind in Dark Souls Remastered, and a person named Drop-Off loaded it into Grand Theft Auto 5 so he could explore it properly. There was once a platform here which you could descend down. Maybe, that's what was in the Upper Cathedral Ward Alpha that was left behind in Dark Souls Remastered. There was a platform here that you would fall down, or lower down, maybe like an elevator. In a later version, there was a doorway here, and it's mostly still there. You just go through that wall, and there it is. There's even a staircase that would have led up to it. So you can still walk in here. No, you can't. Oh my god, that's never happened before. I'm gonna have to run back up there. That's okay. So usually you can still walk around in that area as well. Like the clipping plane is still there. Oh, you said you've seen, yeah, the GTA 5 map with the Bloodborne map loaded into it. Yeah, I should just save and quit, hey. I don't know where it was going to put me, but I'll probably be dead. That's fine. That's why I lit the lantern. But that path was originally probably how you left the arena after fighting the Celestial Emissary. So the game would continue on after that, and towards Yahar Ghul, rather than eventually coming to a dead end with Ebrietas. Wow, apparently, is there an enemy magnet mod yet? I don't know what that means. Oh look, that's really nice of it. It put me just outside the arena. That's cool. I thought it would do that thing where it puts you where you were, but you're instantly dead. Okay, so... Cool. Let's do this again, and let's not even bother turning the clipping back on. Uzi Cooper said I'm gonna get banned. I'm gonna get banned from YouTube. Okay, noticed Amelia seems to have been fought later in the game. Any idea where she was? It's pretty hard. I have no educated guess as to where Amelia would have once been fought. Okay, so there would have once been a doorway here where you would step out and you would drop down that same elevator shaft that I mentioned earlier, and you would pop out at the bottom and you would be there at the exit. You can sort of see the little nice glass window there. Why don't I just use my free camera? Where am I? Where's the orphanage? Whoa, where am I? Oh, there's the orphanage, it's miles away. So you would have popped out in this little elevator chamber and happily walked onto Yahar Ghul. So Yahar Ghul would have been most likely accessed after defeating maybe the Celestial Emissary, maybe something else was once fought in that boss room, I don't know. But that's funny that they left behind such a huge chunk of that elevator shaft. And the whole thing is there in the alpha version of this map that they left behind in Dark Souls Remastered as well. Uzi Cooper said this is illegal. Oh, that's really bad. Yeah, just some mention of, yeah, the different places we've seen different bosses appear. And there's a lot to speculate with regard to trailers. God only knows. Why would this be illegal? Illegally awesome. Alright, so let's... What's that? Oh, it's grass. Let's proceed on. So, probably unsurprising to anyone who's familiar with the most Oh, so, someone just asked why the enemies aren't attacking. I've got the AI turned off. It's just another feature of this mod that I made. Um, as you're probably not surprised by the fact that even though we are here above the Grand Cathedral, main cathedral area, this is not the same map file where you fight Vicar Amelia. So she's not down there. It's a completely different thing. We're not... So she wouldn't be there. The game uses a trick to make this item appear up here and also be visible when you're standing down fighting Vicar Amelia. I think an event handles it. Because this doesn't line up at all. Or maybe it does line up. Maybe it logically lines up so the item just naturally works. So despite the fact that you never actually go down there in this map file, they do allow you to walk on it. I'm going to regret saying this. I'm probably going to fall straight through the ground. You know, okay. What's it like if you free cam up here when you're down there? Yeah, good question, Zach. It's quite different. We'll check that out when we go into Amelia's room. There's a broken lantern down here, just so there's, you know, a little bit of flavour for when you're up there to look down and see. The altar with, what's his name's head on it, it looks a bit different, doesn't it? Let's get a bit closer. There we go. I get lost easy, don't I? I think the head looks similar. Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing, really. It's got the same cleave in the front of it and that. The altar itself is pretty much the same. Is there still a tree behind it? Yeah, it's more subdued, the style of it. Is there still messengers holding up the altar? No, the altar's changed a bit. In the normal one, there's like messengers holding it up. Lawrence's skull, yeah. Is the broken lantern the one that would be with the bloody crow? I mean, basically, it's the same model file, but I think logically it by no means links up with it. The other thing that's kind of funny is the... Uzi called the cops. Did you ever get the rest of the other DSR debug maps to load? I noticed a few in the map viewer which you didn't show, including one that looked like the area past Quillo's room. Wow, Lee, no, I have not returned to Dark Souls Remastered hacking in a long time. Anyway, as I was going to say, the big celestial emissary that spawns in after the boss fight, is the boss room just above us, is it? Where is the boss room? It's kind of out here. Yeah, so it's out here. And down below is the big guy. So he's actually chilling out under the staircase that leads up to Vicar Amelia's fight. I showed that on Boundary Break. Yeah, so not a massive groundbreaking revelation by any means. But yeah, the big celestial emissary is waiting for its chance to warp in halfway through the fight. I shouldn't have dropped down here because I wanted to go into Briatus's area, but I might not be able to from down here. Let's find out. Surely I won't be able to. I think it's a different map file, so it shouldn't load if I try to access it from out of bounds. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do this instead, and just I was thinking about like falling into oblivion to see if I land in a Briatus's arena. But I'm just going to run to it. It's fine. It only takes a couple of seconds, so it's fine. If Briatus is the same map file, I probably could have just safely fallen into oblivion and landed there then, hey? Anyway, let's continue. Well, there's not much to see in a Briatus's area, but it would be silly to not bother going there at all. Oh, I ran out of gold pendants. There's also, I don't think there's any reason to sort of go into the interior of the orphanage. Wait, is this the orphanage or is the orphanage the outside part? You can see the werewolves up on the, whoop, hang on, where's the camera going? Oh, over here. I love how you can see the werewolves, scourge beasts or whatever, hanging out on the chandelier waiting for their chance to drop down. Look at these guys. Imagine that was your life. Just spending years waiting for some guy to come. What else? Yeah, the low poly version of these interior has not much to it. It's basically just the normal map. It all lines up properly. Only 2 hanging from the chandelier. Yeah, is there? I think only 2 do fall down, and then 2 more scurry in from elsewhere in the map. Maybe. Come on, guys. Oh, I've still got stuff disabled. Hang on. Are they gonna fall down now? Watch this. Let's put our camera in a cool place so we can see this scene unfold in real time. Oh, hang on. How about like this? Is that good enough? Oh, just stuff everywhere. Alright, put my monocular away. There they go. Oh, so another one drops down from the roof. That was cool. See, that's what this mod's all about. Anyway, back to Ebrietus's room. Oh, there's a blue eyes monster. The orphanage brain sucker is my waifu. Alright, off to Ebrietus. Why didn't the game have proper dynamic shadows if they can clearly do it? Well, it does. It does have dynamic shadows. They're just so subtle. Like, look, there's my hunter having a shadow. And I'm pretty sure, like, light even casts around objects. Like, I was looking at the vases and stuff like that in another map and pulling up my torch and playing with them. And it did have the same shadow rendering as the alpha. It was just so, like, hard to see. And I don't know, maybe they thought they were just changing it for a more realistic appearance because the shadows in the alpha were really sharp. Or maybe it is actually less of a performance hit with what they eventually ended up doing. Yeah, I think I can just safely drop down here. Yeah, cool. Look at these guys. Did you know that this is actually 2 different enemies stuck together? The tentacles and the little guys themselves are 2 different creatures, and well, you can see it's sort of having trouble staying attached, trying to push him into the wall like that. I think they're attached using like a vent of some sort. Alright, down we go. Why is Rom at the altar of suffering? I don't know. Don't cancel Ash, I'm sorry, I didn't drop into Ebrietus's arena. How do you find... Why do you have to find your character to exit free cam? I don't. I just like leaving the camera in a sensible place. Yeah. I'm sorry, Cancelash, I didn't drop down into the arena to see it dynamically load. So yeah, obviously there's this thing that looks a little bit like ROM. That's sort of the only thing, that's all you can really say about it. Looks a bit like ROM. Altar of Despair. Got some flowers and some tomb mold growing on it. Ugh, where am I now? Oh. There's Ebrietus's arena from the outside. Are you able to spawn the tentacle enemies separately from the alien? Yeah, I guess so. It would just stand around probably. Can I check where the source of light comes from? I bet I can. I bet it's nothing. It'll just be like a big old bright thingy. Is there like... It just gets brighter and brighter. It's sort of coming from inside this yeah, it's like just it's just this. It's like a pulsing texture. Look at that. It's interesting. It's interesting. So you can dynamically load your pants when you accidentally step on a summoning trap. Sorry, having a drink. Alright, let's keep exploring. Yeah, I have no idea if like anyone in the chat is like people who are not familiar with my channels or the recent years worth of cut content discoveries that have been made in Bloodborne, so a lot of this is probably quite interesting. But for a lot of you, I think if you've been following the channel, a lot of this is just retracing old steps, just with a cooler camera to use along the way, which I think is cool. But I really thought that of all the areas in Bloodborne, the Altar of Despair, is that what this area is called? Would have had some weirdness outside the map, or with regard to cut content, or unused stuff floating around in the map file, or the event that handles resurrecting the queen at the altar would have had like some hint as to what it was maybe once used for before. It's such a strange area, but I haven't found anything interesting at all about the Altar of Despair. Yeah, it's weird. It's a shame. And the Briatus will probably get angry if I do that. Or is she already angry? I think I accidentally hit her while I was in the free camera. Look at that face. Are those eyes? Oh my god, they are. Briatus really has a whole bunch of eyeballs. Just like Rom. There was obviously once a very different canon between Briatus and Rom. When you look at her face like that, it sort of makes her look like similar species to Rom. And the fact that she's in a state of despair with regard to an altar that looks like Rom. The canon obviously got changed quite a lot in development, but I'd say these two characters were created with the design was obviously meant to suggest some kind of relationship, but all that's long gone now. Let's go like this and go back to the Tomb of Erden and then run into Amelia. Look at Ludwig's second mouth with the free camera. Yeah, it is full of eyes. It's amazing. Macaroni monster. Looks like pasta. Looks delicious. How are the green eyes attached? I don't know. Is this the best way to get to Amelia? Is via the Hunter's Dream? Or should I just run over there? Can't really run over there, surely. Not from here. Hunter's Dream it is. It'll be fine. Umbasa. I wonder if, like, can I see? Oh, hang on a sec. Let's go like that. Sure. Just having a look at this YouTube business. There we go. I don't live stream on YouTube very often, so this whole thing is quite confusing to me. Do tutorials exist on how to access the free camera? No, Edward, sorry. I had to do it. I had to figure it out myself. It took me ages, and I had to get someone to help me convert my assembly into, I guess you call it bytecode. It was complicated. Are there any secrets in the fishing hamlet? Yeah, no name. If you follow me on Twitter, I actually tweeted a picture of Gehrman standing in the fishing hamlet, because he actually is standing in the fishing hamlet in the map file. But he's been made invisible or disabled by the developers. But it was easy to re-enable him and get a cool screenshot of him chilling out. DS Mir, I can't show Gehrman in the fishing hamlet at the moment because this mod only gives me the free camera and walk through walls. It doesn't really, there's no way for me to modify a map on a live stream. So do you think Amelia's just chilling out in there even before we open the door? Surely she would be. Whoops, that's the wrong item. I need to use my free camera. And where am I? Orphanage. So I'm just appreciating. It really does look the same as it did even when we were in the orphanage map. The clock tower really has a lot of detail to it too. Where's Amelia?
Seek the old blood.
There she is.
Let us pray. Let us wish.
Yeah, Catalyst. I'm pretty sure YouTube actually do not allow some specific sort of tutorials. So certain things I can't do on stream or in videos at all. Hey, she has eyeballs and everything.
But beware.
Oh, I'm going up. No, I'm going in a completely bonkers direction. Yeah, let's do that again.
The foul beasts will dangle
Okay,
nectar
lady.
and lure the meek into the depths. Remain
Is she
wary
holding a
of the
pendant?
frailty of men.
She's not.
Their wills are weak, minds young. Were it not
She's
for fear,
definitely
death
a
would go
chime
unrelented.
maiden.
Seek
The mouth is
old
the real
blood.
giveaway.
Let us pray, let us wish to
Got
partake in
dress on.
communion.
It's got a little brooch
Let
of
us
some
partake in
sort.
communion
There's a lot
and
going on
feast
there.
upon the old blood. Our thirst
There's
for
a
blood
male version of the
satiates
prayer
us,
too, unused.
soothes
Huh.
our fears. Seek the old blood,
I'm just
But
scrolling up through the
beware,
chat for a second.
frailty of men.
Yeah,
Their
Gurman was in the
wills are
fishing
weak,
hamlet in the DLC
minds
trailer,
young.
and as I said on Twitter,
Foul beasts will dangle nectar
oh,
and
there's
lure
no
the
skull
meek
here?
into the depths.
That's weird.
Remain
As I
wary
said
of
on
the
Twitter,
frailty
there's
of
actually a
men.
note from the developers
Their
next to
wills are
him in the
weak,
map file
minds
saying,
young.
for filming the
Were it
PV,
not
which is
for
like
fear,
preview
death
video.
would go
Does this
unlamented.
altar look different compared to when you actually get in
Seek
the room?
old blood.
Uh,
Let us pray, let us wish to
I think this
partake
is
in
still there, right? Yeah, the
communion.
messenger's holding up this
Let us
coffin. Is it a
partake in
coffin?
communion and feast
Check it
upon
out when we
the
get a
old
little
blood.
closer.
Our
Nothing
thirst
in the
for
coffin.
blood satiates us, soothes our fears. Seek the
And
old blood.
noteworthily, oh yes, the
The
second
frailty of
statue
men.
is inside
Their wills are weak,
the box.
minds young.
So I explained this on Boundary
The
Break,
foul
but you know the
beasts will dangle
cutscene where
nectar
Amelia
and lure the
transforms,
meek
there's
into the
actually a moment
depths.
where you see the statue get splattered in
Remain
blood.
wary of the
And in order
frailty
to
of
do that,
men.
it actually quickly swaps
wills
with
are
a
weak,
second
minds
copy of the
young.
statue that's already
Were it
splattered
not
with
for
blood
fear,
that's
death
hiding
would go
under the map.
unlamented.
So see this one's got blood on it? It actually quickly
Seek
goes
the
whoop and
old
shows you that
blood.
one.
Let
And then when the
us
fight
pray,
starts, the blood's
let us
gone again.
wish
So it doesn't actually
to
do a proper
partake in
swap.
communion.
Also, I was previously
Let us
up here,
partake in communion
heading towards Abritus's
and feast
area.
upon the old blood.
And yeah, as you
thirst
can
for blood
see, it doesn't
satiates us,
quite have the
soothes
same
our
layout
fears.
as it did
Seek
then.
the old
There's no
blood.
back area with an elevator going down or anything like that.
Beware, the
Someone said, what's the
frailty of
writing
men.
on the coffin? It's
Their
absolutely
wills are
nothing.
weak,
It's mirrored for
minds
starters,
young.
so it's left and right
Foul
is
beasts will
copied,
dangle
like it's
nectar
a
and lure
texture
the
with
meek
left
into
half
the
is just a
depths.
mirror image of the right half, but
Remain wary of
it's
the
pretty
frailty of
garbage.
men. Their
Let's get a little closer, and whoa, whoops, I forgot to turn gravity back on. There we go. And Cat Clips is lurking. It's the same text as on a Titanite slab, I hope so. So now that we're a bit closer, Lawrence's head has appeared.
feast upon the old blood.
Ah,
Our thirst for
That's
blood
cool.
satiates us, soothes
I
our
thought
fears.
this all looked the same, it's just
your
this
blood.
part here was missing. Okay,
But beware,
can we go inside his skull?
the frailty of
No eyes
men.
on the inside.
Their wills are
Nope.
weak, minds young.
It's got a
The
bald
foul
spot
beasts will
too.
dangle nectar and lure the meek into
I
the
would too if
depths.
someone did that to me.
Remain wary of the frailty of
It is-
men. Their
It's
wills
definitely
are
the
weak, minds young.
bloodletting beast's head, isn't it?
Were it
Don't
not
even
for
go
fear,
there.
death
Don't even say
would
that.
go
They'll start.
unlamented.
Someone will flip out in the chat if you even mention that sort of talk.
To partake in communion
I remember that Lawrence used to have a crown. Yeah, he did, didn't he? That's a thing.
and feast
Now, is there anything I
upon
need to do before I trigger the fight with Amelia?
the blood satiates us, soothes our fears.
Can you no clip into DLC map? I can only teleport there, so that's why I do have to.
Beware, the frailty of men. Their
I do
wills
have to
are
kill
weak,
Amelia. This is gonna take a while. I'm just gonna have to wail on her with the axe. Should I do it? There's no other way to kill her. Maybe like if you're in a time zone where it's like a billion o'clock in the morning and you should be in bed, maybe this is the best time to go to bed because this is going to take ages. Maybe I can just read the chat now. Maybe I can scroll to the top and read the whole chat. Let's turn the... Should I turn the HUD on or should I make it a surprise when she dies? We'll leave it as a surprise. Oh, she won't... I've actually killed her so many times like this. Like, you wouldn't believe how many times I've killed the living failures at level 6 with a +0 weapon. Awful. But I've killed her like this many times. Back when I was trying to restore Maria, the Maria NPC, I had to kill Amelia every time I wanted to do the DLC on a fresh save. And she does not, what would you call it, like regen. She won't regen her health. I don't know why. Or if she does, she just seems to be easily interrupted. I don't really get it, but she never does that to me. It's good, I guess. Shouldn't you pick Saw Cleaver so you get serrating damage on it? I don't know. I don't know that sort of thing. I'm not good at Bloodborne when it comes to the game mechanics. I'm only good at Bloodborne when it comes to staring at stuff and getting confused and thinking about it for a while. I'm not very good at Souls games with regards to the gameplay. I just like exploring them and thinking about the stuff in them. Peeve me, you said, what do you mean by Restore Maria? I'm guessing you're not really familiar with my channel because I did a video where I restored the cut quest line where Maria is alive, and then you talk to her and then Simon kills her. You should subscribe to my channel and watch all my videos. and then support me on Patreon and click the notification bell and follow me on Twitch. Why is her arm black? I think it's just covered in blood. Oh, I got a visceral. I wasn't even looking at the screen. I got a visceral attack. I think her arm's just black because it's all bloody. From me just wailing on one particular part over and over. It's blood, yep. Yeah, I should have just had beast blood pellets in a different save where I had to kill the living failures over and over again, once again because I was testing Maria. By the way, restoring Maria took like 4 months of just killing Amelia and living failures over and over again and then testing results because I was trying to learn how the event that kills her was being triggered. Oh, Catalash, I've streamed. Is she dead? Oh wow, that didn't take long at all. Unable to acquire gold pendants. I already have 1 million because of the way the mod works. What was someone saying? Yeah, beast blood pellets. I actually used those heaps when fighting the living failures over and over and over again. Amelia is holding her pendant throughout the fight, by the way. I showed that on the boundary break video. I got up close to it. I don't have access to the debug menu in the retail version of the game. I have it in like the alpha test, if I go into the alpha test. It's not in that actually, it's just in the alpha test. But not in the full version at all. The debug menu's fun even if it's just in one build though. If it's just in one map. Like, you know, you can only explore Central Yarnum, but you can still have fun with it. The door's not open, so I can't get out. Let's fix that. Let's actually open the door too. There we go. So what was I doing? Going to the DLC? Hey, let's do that. Yeah, I should plug in the controller, but I don't have to like sit all contorted. Let's just go back to the Hunter's. We'll go back to the Hunter's Mark, the Hunter's Dream. That's good. What is this? Anyone notice that one crow chilling on the telephone pole wire in Cathedral Ward where you encounter the first giant? No. Could you check Hemwick? You know, that's a good idea. Let's go to Hemwick and have a look. We've got the Canehurst summons too, but let's not get too distracted. We'll just check out the low poly version of Canehurst with the free camera. I actually haven't done that yet. Can you see the research hall in the waking world? No, it's not there. I don't think they even... I don't know if they'd really decided where the research hall was going to be earlier in development, or if they had, they were just... There's no reason to render it from far away. It's just like a big clock tower with nothing at the base of it. Did someone dislike this video? So as I said before, there is I think lots of people never noticed this, but there is a sign that says Hemwick. Ugh, amongst the grass. Hemwick, let's get up close with that. Everyone loves signs, right? Is that the forest? So, that's the Forbidden Woods. Celestial Clock Tower. As you can see, I'm good at getting lost. Here we go. 6 people disliked this. Who? Okay, first of all, yes, it says Hemwick if you never noticed that. Who clicks on a video called Bloodborne mod live stream free camera no gravity and then gets as far as seeing this and thinks, this isn't what I wanted. It's exactly what it said on the box. It's like, it's like you bought a box of tissues and opened up and found tissues inside, and you're like, I am very unsatisfied with what's happened here. Yeah, actually, I have like lots of people subscribe to my channel just to dislike every video. Like when I first upload a video, it'll get 10 dislikes, and then it won't get like another dislike until it's had about 300 likes. Everyone disliked the video. Doesn't the YouTube algorithm love that? It's like, oh, this video is creating engagement and discussion. We better recommend it to more people. I don't know. You're not playing the game the right way. Actually, some people do get super angry about hacking, even if it's for the sake of hacking. Like, hey, I'm going to make some new discoveries today, and people are just like, hacking is bad. Like, alright, well, you can go and not make new discoveries if you want. That's cool. Yeah, one thing about Hemwick is this area was finished so early in development, probably the first area that was made, and it never changed. Like, if it did, there is no hint to the fact that it did. You're probably familiar with this cave that the camera has just randomly appeared in, so that's cool. At the entrance to Hemwick, there's a funny cave near the top. Where the hell am I? That's the wrong cave. I'm just going to show this cave. When you first enter Hemwick, up on the left, you can see this nicely detailed path that leads to a big old cave. There's nothing in there at all. Nothing to suggest it ever led anywhere. And I think it's just there because it was probably the first area they made, and they were like, hey, let's add lots of detail and make a really beautiful area. Like, look how nice this looks. This all of Hemwick. Hemwick's such a boring area, but it looks so cool. It's so iconic. It really is the Bloodborne map. You can see the witch's abode from anywhere, and the moon. Is the moon a sphere? I think it is. Yeah, it is. It's even got it's the same sphere and texture as a few other areas too. But yeah, like, there's not much to discover in, like, with secrets or anything like that in this area. Is the witch's abode. It's rendered to quite an extreme detail, even when you're really far away from it. Yeah, someone's like, it's not like you're data mining spoilers. And that's one thing I'm pretty hesitant. I think if I was to data mine Sekiro as soon as it was released, no one would want to watch it. They'd be like, no, I'm going to play that game. I'm going to hold off on these videos. And it's probably a bit generous, but I'm not really expecting to do much work on Sekiro until it's been out for like a year or more. There's not much to do with the witch's abode from as far away as there, except the fact that you can see the backside of it, which you never see in game. Nice little detail. Look at that. It's even got little windows. Wow, that's really detailed. There's like an interior on this little tower attached to it. Okay, let's get back to it. Oops, I'm locked on. Where am I? I go up again. Yeah, I'm by no means expecting Sekiro to be a good game by default. I played it at PAX, and it was absolutely not a Dark Souls game or a Bloodborne game. It's very much absolutely different. And nothing showed that more so than the fact that when I fell off a ledge to my death, the screen just faded out and put me back on the ledge. You know, like a regular old platform game where you fall off a ledge and you just get to try again. It did not have, yeah, like extreme difficulty or punishment or learning through death or anything that these games are so known for. I wonder where exactly in Hemwick we spawned. I could probably figure that out if I looked at the map file. Could you check if it loads more of the castle once you're inside the witch's arena? Yeah, I can check that out. Sorry, I'm just quickly checking the chat. Can you unlock the frame rate? I can't unlock the frame rate in the full version, but I can do it in the alpha, and it only runs at about 40 frames a second. Okay, witch's abode. It actually seems to load a bit less of it once you get closer, I think. Oh, no, it's about the same. So here's the path to Canehurst, which even since the earliest drafts has been a broken bridge that you would be transported to through a ghost carriage, according to some very old handwritten notes that we translated recently. Okay. So the low poly version of Canehurst probably doesn't have any secrets to tell. I got to be careful about pressing L1 and L2 and R2 because my character's way back there standing on that ledge, and if I do that, it will make me fall off the edge. Okay, sorry, I was just reading the chat there. Hang on, where are we? Where are we? Okay, so here's where you normally go in. There's no dead horses. Alright, let's get our bearings here. So, as we've talked about many times before, the only thing that really seems to have changed throughout development of Bloodborne is the fact that here's where you fight Martyr Logarius, up here, and you would usually use the crown to reveal a secret area. You just go straight ahead, don't you, and go up to the Queen's Chamber, which obviously isn't there because I haven't revealed it anyway. But the Queen's Chamber almost definitely used to be down here, below Logarius's arena. There's really not much left of it, even, well, at a low poly version you wouldn't expect there to be much left anyway, but yeah. I really don't think there's much else to see in the low polygon version of Canehurst. It is incredibly detailed considering how far away it is though. I like that I can just warp here with the camera now instead of having to run like I used to. They even did all the little rocks, that's nice. The Witch's Abode seems to not really have any secrets. Once again, even in the earliest draft designs of this map, it seems like the Witch's Abode didn't really change shape. It always ended with a corpse that probably had a different purpose at some point, but didn't really go to a big room or a boat or anything weird like that that would take you to Canehurst, which is something we wondered about in the past, based on some unused assets we found, if there would have been a dramatically different way of getting to Canehurst. I think Bloodborne is the most interesting game to dig through because it was an original IP and it went through so many different ideas in development, rather than Dark Souls where, you know, you make Dark Souls 3 and it's like, obviously it's going to be medieval fantasy, obviously it's going to, I don't know, these mechanics are going to be in it and that mechanic's going to be in it because that's how that series works. When they made a new IP, they went through a lot of different ideas and left a lot of pieces of those ideas behind. So it's made it interesting to dig into. Obviously Dark Souls 3 went through... Where's the witch? Maybe there's only one at the moment. Dark Souls 3 went through some pretty extreme changes with regard to the dragging corpses around and stuff, but Bloodborne is a bit fresher, a bit overall fresher when it comes to ideas. I do like fat cats. Yeah, Catalash, that's a good idea. I should see if I can do a patch to unlock the frame rate and oh, actually I don't have a way to run it on a PS4 Pro. You can probably imagine why. I have a PS4 Pro, but I wouldn't be able to apply the patch on that. Can you free cam that black shade? Yeah, let's do it. Is that what you call those things? Black shades? I thought they were just called witches. Not the witches of Hemwick. Ooh, look at that face. Oh, I'm too far away from it so the physics aren't rendering. You can see how bald it is. Bald. Oh, where is it? Jesus. The baldness curse. It's got like stuff dripping off it, doesn't it? Yeah. What's blood? The black stuff. Yeah, it's this black stuff. Can I check the feet of every NPC in the game? A painful discourse. I'll probably tweet out an unlisted link to this live stream or something like that afterwards. I assume it just automatically gets saved like that. Yeah, the Witch's Abode is one of those areas that really feels like it once had a different idea behind it, but from what we've kind of seen, I don't think it really did. I think this was always the gist of it. How do I get back? Like that? I like how you can walk on the roof in here though. And it's even like curved. Can't fall in the hole though. Alright, let's go to the DLC. Bloodborne was designed to run at 60 FPS originally. Yeah, Bloodborne does, if you just unlock the FPS, the game speed does break, but you can also change the animation, like interpolation speed or something, I don't know what you call it. Which is what I do when I'm using the model viewer to make the models animate at 60 frames a second, and it works fine. Yeah, so who's the off-screen man? That's a weird question. What's that object way down below the level? Oh, Ramo. Sorry, I didn't see your question beforehand, but I think it might have been the base of one of the elevators. It goes down like 1,000,000 kilometers. The Eye of the Blood Drunk Hunter. Cathedral Ward. Did you look at Canehurst from Hemwick? I did, Future Kaze. Yeah. I did that a bunch of times. I've done that a few times on this channel. Guillermo Ramos, that corpse at the end of Hemwick, no one knows who that is. Hobo X10, I'm not sure how long it would take. Dark Souls 2 is definitely bottom of my priorities. It's a cool game and all, but I haven't finished it. And it's also a different engine than all the other games in the series use. So it would be a big job for me personally. I'm not very keen on getting into it. So I'm just remembering what I'm doing here. There we go. Now this amygdala will grab you even if AI is disabled, but the other one that takes you to the Nightmare Frontier won't grab you if AI is disabled. Are there some Bloodborne areas you've never explored in detail? Yeah, I think
Their children too.
a few really. I've only really spent heaps of time on Bergenworth, and ones that I've covered on the channel already.
True.
Unused trick weapon movesets and cut weapons. I think if there were any cut weapons, Sanad SK would have already covered them. He's better at the... It's hard to explain, like armor and weapons and items and stuff like that. Whereas I focus more like lore and areas and sort of like the way the flow of the game would have been different. If you make the amygdala grab an NPC, that will also trigger the cutscene and take you to DLC. That sounds incredible. Alright. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat still. Okay, cool. Let's light the lamp. That'll be helpful. So, obviously, this is a slapped together area. And if I use the free camera, it puts me below the ground. Wow, the map is really far away. Kind of makes sense because oh no, it's not all one map, it's 3. I don't know why it put me so far down the ground. So let's just get back to where we want to be. There's the Grand Cathedral, there's the Circular Plaza, so the starting area must be over here somewhere? Yes, right here, right here. So even though this area has been quickly put together, can you say, oh? This area has been quickly put together. The developers were reasonably careful to cut out any bits that weren't needed and get rid of any left behind little chunks that would have been sliced up along the way. There's a few little bits here and there where you can see they've kind of haphazardly grabbed bits. For example, well, just not for example, but an interesting thing, this is where you would fight the living failures. However, obviously there's no arena here. So just another point towards the fact that living failures are probably a late idea in development. Circular Plaza. I never noticed the tombs at the Circular Plaza were the same as the ones in the Hunter's Nightmare. It's kind of cool. Alright, let's get back to it. Yeah, we've got to check out that slug in the air. I don't know if they made, you say they made the fishing hamlet first. I think the fishing hamlet and the You never looked at research hall in UPW. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just a big empty cube. I think the research hall and the fishing hamlet were probably both made around the same time and both intended to be separate DLCs. And then the Hunter's Nightmare was made very late in development and just used as a crappy way to stitch the two together. I also think that the research hall was originally explored in the opposite direction. Like you would fight Ludwig near the end, because Maria has an unused item drop called Pendant that I'm guessing would have allowed you to, would have been the eye pendant that takes you, that activates the elevator at the start of the research hall, and probably would have taken you down to fight Ludwig as the final boss of the first DLC. But I don't really know if that's true or not. It's just a guess based on the fact that she dropped a pendant item, and Ludwig's boss arena is so incredibly detailed compared to the Hunter's Nightmare, which is a really crappily put together area covered in foamy bulk everywhere. Is there a cottage at the base of the building below Living Failures Arena? I don't know. I'll have to go look. How did you learn to break into games like this? I don't know. I just practiced on my PlayStation 1 when I was like 12. How close can you get to the thing in the sky? That's a good question. Let's do it. So obviously it is an eyeball. I like that. It actually has a higher res texture that loads when you get this close. As if you could ever get that close in game. That's so strange. I think even in the cutscenes it's nowhere near that close to it. And obviously the, what would you call it, like the iris? I don't know what you call that pattern in an eyeball. Is only on the front of the celestial body that watches the nightmare. And the rolling hills are obviously the same rolling hills we see in the Hunter's Dream in the distance. Although they're covered in fog there, so it's a little hard to tell the similarity, but definitely the same mass that you see in the distance of the Hunter's Dream with all the pillars sticking out of it. Let me see here. Alright, anyway, back to it. Where I always, back when I was working on the Maria cut content, I would continuously forget to grab this pendant, and I would get all the way past Ludwig, and then I wouldn't have the pendant, and I would rage quit, and I'd try again the next day. Look at this guy. I wonder if there's anything under him. Oops. Like where the Ludwig's, Lawrence's skull would usually be. Is that Lawrence? Yeah, that boss is Lawrence, right? Yeah. I get Lawrence and Ludwig's names confused. Not much in here. Same text, I think, that's on the... I like this little painting where you can see, like... I don't know, maybe that's like Lawrence lying in the same position. Back when he was a human. Back before the nightmare made him a horrible aberration. Someone said, yeah, what do you practice doing to learn about exploring cut content in games? You just practice hacking games in general, like Googling how do I give myself unlimited ammo in Doom or something, and learning the very basics of those sort of like real-time memory editing, and then maybe like 20 years later, I've been able to do things like this. It all stems from the same sort of stuff. Oh, let's check out if the path to Hemwick is still there. So he's just floating. What an idiot. Alright, I don't think it is there. Well, how far does this little path go? Ooh, it goes for a little while. So they did leave in a little bit more than they needed to when they were copy and pasting the areas. You can see where the banister ends, or the staircase would have gone down. But not much. They did a pretty good job of cleaning it up and making it look like... Wait, what the hell is that area? Oh, that's where you fight the blood-starved beast. That's weird that this area renders at this point. And none of the... Oh, actually, yeah, some of the area connecting to it does. Okay, right, alright. It's loading all this area. I didn't realise. Cool. Alright, so, as you all probably know, there are 2 research halls in the Nightmare. It's just nice to see both of them at the same time, so clearly, on the left and right of the screen. The one on the left clearly being the one that had a lot of love and design poured into it, and the one on the right clearly being very quickly copy and pasted. There's the research hall with nothing inside. Nope. Nothing at all. Alright, let's make our way to Ludwig. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat, so I'm probably just bumping on walls and stuff like that. Whoa. I gotta remember, am I invincible? I can't remember. Better just do this just to be sure. Oh, Tatu, you're stuck on the first boss of the DLC. I was stuck on it for months. I actually gave up on the game for a long time. But then I came back and got back into it hardcore and I haven't stopped since. Well, it's hard to say... What the hell? Oh, okay, that gun just exploded, then went back together. Yeah, I mean, I guess it will be a bit of spoiler to see what happens after the first boss in this hacking stream, but you're just going to see like weird random chunks of geometry and random chat about the various things that we encounter. I should really just be no clipping through this area to make it go a lot faster, but it's alright. Can you go to that little glowing window that kind of looks like a watchtower? Oh, I'm not sure where that was, sorry. The chat's a bit too far behind for me to reconcile that with where I'm at now. Do I go up here? What's up here? Oh, let's check out the snail woman and see if she's floating in the sky. Or if she just appears out of nowhere. I reckon she just appears out of nowhere. Because surely you'd be able to see her from one of these vantage points, if not. Okay. Where was I? Up here. So she would be up here somewhere, right? She kind of lands here, right? That's where the is that the whirligig saw that's on that corpse? So she would be up. Whoop. Let's go above the space. Yeah, Richard, you're right. There is a different orphan model that's unused, and it's really weird, actually. It's only got one animation of it just walking forward. I don't think anyone knows that. I just saw that in the model viewer. There's no snail woman just floating in the sky from what I can see. How the hell did I get all the way over here? Damn it, now I'm lost. Alright, try again. Yes, I was up here. I really want to know the secret of this snail woman. She must be hiding somewhere in the map. I'm sure I could just look at the map file and figure it out. Could she be down below? No. I don't think so. Swordiness, this mod is not public, sorry. Even if it, a lot of people are like, ooh, can I have that mod? And I sort of think like, do you have any way to use it at all? I mean, some people say like, yes, I know exactly how I would use that. But yeah, I think starting with something more basic would be a good idea, like the ability to run modified software on PlayStation 4 is not something that's very, very naturally easy to do. Yeah, future Kaze, that's a good idea. I will move the camera up above where the snail woman spawns and just watch the spawn happen. So I'll just go up here and clip through this fence. I don't think I haven't personally posted anything about the second orphan model, but there's not much to see. It's just the orphan, and it has a single animation where it walks forward, dragging the placenta that it uses behind it. Goodbye, woke Wi-Fi. Alright, so I should put the camera out here somewhere. Over here. Cool. Okay, no snail woman yet. Now, please don't be mad if I screw this up, but I haven't done this that many times, this map before, so I might be looking in the wrong area, but I'm pretty sure like the snail woman spawns like here? Sort of? Basically. So let's try to set the camera up somewhere that will see us spawn. Big wide view. Okay. Now I've got to walk through the whole hallway using tank controls without being able to see myself. I'm just going to ram up on the joystick. Wish me luck. I think it's working. Oh, there she goes. She spawned like from way up. Like way higher than I expected. Wowie. Well, maybe next time we'll go even further away. That's cool. Yeah, by the way, if you like this stream, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. That's all I can really say. Thank you for saying you enjoy my videos. Someone that old lady just got yeeted out of the sky. Can someone please make a mod where her falling sound is replaced with yeet? Alright, we're just gonna go straight to Lawrence. Ludwig, not Lawrence. Ludwig. See? I get that wrong all the time. I hate this witch. If you don't kill her here and you run all the way to the fog gate, she grabs you just before you get to it. Alright, now one thing I really want to see... Oh, actually, I've got AI disabled. I was really curious what would happen if you fight Ludwig and he does his jump up in the air attack. What is that? Oh, that's a summon thing. I want to see where he goes, but he won't do that attack because the AI is disabled. Where am I? Where's me? Over here. So where is he? He must just be standing there invisible before the fight starts. I know the alternate... Yeah, the second stage is down here, floating beneath the map. I discovered this not that long ago. Yeah, let's watch the cutscene. Ludwig. He yeeted into existence. He's so cool. Yeesh. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's that? Sit still. Alright. Yeah. Cool. Oof. Beautiful. Beautiful man. He's a beautiful boy. It's my baby boy. Yeah, the main one must just be invisible. The engine has no problem making creatures invisible before you get to them. Like the cleric beast was invisible too behind the wall. Gascoigne is as well, I'm pretty sure. Let's just leave the camera here. We'll find it later. Yeah. Hello, Michael W. Let's watch this cool cutscene. It's actually a really good cutscene.
Help.
How did he get that way again? I think this is just the way he appears in the nightmare based on the all the hunters who came here. I guess the nightmare is like made up of their... Like this is a nightmare to them, and this is how they think of Ludwig. Horrible man who rode a horse and was, I don't know, monstrous. No, I can't free cam in the cutscenes. They're very... I'm not sure if you've seen the cutscene file formats, but it's like the path the camera takes is this weird compressed data format, so I can't even like lock the camera in one place. It's all compressed and I don't know how to decompress or recompress it. Cool. There he is, that's our boy. That's the boy. Really cool. Whoop. This way? This way? Yeah, this way. So yeah, I mean, just... Whoops. That button. So let's just get some cinematic shots of horse murder. There we go. Blammo. I mean, there's not much else to say. He's a cool looking boss. He's smaller than he seems, yeah. His kicking legs won't hurt you. He's not actually performing an attack. Yeah, Katalash, you say if it's anything like Havoc's compression, the cutscene files are .hkx files, so I think that means they are like a Havoc scripted scene. They're probably like one of the most pure Havoc files in the whole engine, as far as I understand. But I don't really understand the nuance of that kind of thing. I assume no one wanted me to like do anything else in that room. Like, there's not much else to see. I think he does have the executioner's garb on.
Shrouded mine eye, but sprout under the trees. Only
you do eventually open this door, don't you? Yeah. Whoop. Here's the internally this area is called the multi-confinement prison, and we're actually in the research hall map now. This is part of the research hall map. This little dude. This guy reminds me of Marcus, ENB. I think he looks like ENB. Epic name, bro. Maybe they modeled it after him, I don't know. Or maybe that's just me. Okay, and what's her name? Gracia? Gracia is here too. And she has a face, which I think Sanadeske already posted a nice screenshot of. I love how the dialogue goes past super fast when the camera's not near the person speaking. Oh, it's either Gracia or Gratia. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that name. Does she have eyes? I assume she has eyes. Under her hat. God damn it. I'm gonna give up if I don't see some eyes soon. Oh, there they are. Wait, does she really not have eyes? Wow, that's weird. What if we just go inside her head? Is she like a custom model? She must be. Like a custom... I thought it was just actually a character just in a certain pose, but no, it's like a fully customized model that just lies on the ground. That's cool. Good for them. Alright, back to it. Is this the right way? Yes, yes. Oh, obviously this dude is down here. Should I just walk in? Nothing actually happens, nothing particular happens in game when you finally walk up to this guy, does it? Like, you can just kill him and talk to him and stuff. It doesn't really change the outcome of his...
What is it? Or perhaps...
Yeah. It just skips right ahead to that moment. Wow, whammo! I'm really good at this game. Wham! Alright. Good job, buddy. Can't open this door from the other side? Nope. If you kill Brado now, does Simon still die? I don't remember. I mean, I don't remember. I assume that's not how the normal path of the quest goes. I would assume yes. I haven't finished the DLC in so long, though. The lecture hall, or the research hall, sorry. It's really a very boring area to explore, even with the free camera. There's not a lot going on in there. I like this room, though. This is obviously the, an older version of the Grand Cathedral back in its earlier days. So that's where the lantern would spawn, and this is where the altar is. I love how you can see the thingy, Scourge Beast, coming out from under the blanket, just like when you receive your blood ministration at the start of the game and you see the Scourge Beast come out of the ground. You know, sort of suggests that everyone had that same vision when they received the old blood. I like that these guys don't have faces. I assume you can see that without the free camera. Maybe they're like the wet nurse. No, I don't. Let's not go wild with that sort of theory. This guy's weird looking. Nah, he's alright, I guess. So out here is where the Lumen Flower Garden is, and it's still there. This whole area is loaded now. Here is where the path to that elevator would be that was deleted, and obviously it's been properly deleted by the time the DLC was made. Rest of the research hall is mostly loading now. Living Failures Arena is not, but the little staircase up to Maria's arena is there. And there's the where the Celestial Dial will eventually spawn. There's actually an unused path here, which you can still walk on in the final version. And there's a little gap in the railing that you can drop down from. I'll go there soon. Ludwig's arena is still loaded and he's waiting for me to fight him. Let's continue on. Oh, someone wanted me to look at Amelia's... Oh, it's just not Amelia. That woman's face, I think. No, Simon. Simon's quest line is not properly activated at the moment. Amelia should be... I'm just going to call her Amelia. Where is she? I got lost. Here. Here. Oh, she's still loaded. That's nice of her. Just looks like some lady, but she's got white eyeballs. I like that. Ooh. Yeah, I like how people are like, but that is Amelia. It's like, that's not Amelia. It's young Amelia. Oh, it's technically, I don't know if that's Amelia. I don't know. It could be a reconstruction of Amelia based on someone's memory of her who ended up in the nightmare where the horrible way they remember the hunt going ends up coming real. I have no idea. Now, what's the quickest way to skip the research hall? Something I'll show you that I discovered yesterday is... I'm probably going to die by stepping in one of them traps. So this little path over here... So obviously this staircase goes nowhere until you activate the gimmick staircase, as it's called internally. But if you walk through this wall, there's a path here which you can walk on. This entirely unused area, and it's not to say area because it's one tiny bit of concrete. There's a wall here that I think you can't walk through. Yeah, there's a wall that you can't walk through. Nice little detail. And there's even a little gap in the railing you can drop down. So this area is inaccessible in the game. But just the proximity to that, where the staircase points to, makes me wonder if it's left over from an old path. Oh crap. Whoa, that was lucky. Okay, and obviously you can get here in the game. So it makes me wonder if, were you originally meant to be up there, or was there maybe originally meant to be an enemy up there that would just, you know, run and drop down or something like that? I don't know. Thankfully, once you get here, it's very easy to... Oh wait, maybe it's not. How do I'm just trying to skip the research hall, basically. There's a rat there. There's a rat there too. Is that normal for the rats to drop down there? I guess so. Okay. Now, is it safe to use my vermin when I'm this close to the floor? Yes, it is. Cool. I just need to find a ladder somewhere to climb up and get a little higher. I don't know the research hall off by heart like I do most of the game. So especially when I'm no clipping through it, it's a bit hard for me to rush through it still. Is the music still going from Ludwig? I thought I had the music turned off. I actually have the sound turned off locally so I can't hear it. Let's just smash through this wall. And where are we? Where are we? Here we go. Where's the big double doors that we want to go through? Over there. Cool. Plip. Plip plop. Could you leave the camera on the ground floor when you pull the lever to move the stairs? Yeah. Let's do it. How do I get up to this thingy? I think I go over here. It's the quickest way to get up to the roof. Is it this way? Yeah, let's check out the gimmick staircase from a totally different angle. That's fun, right? It's an interesting thing we haven't seen before. Whoop. Is this the side? This is the side. Oh, the new patients just pop into existence. Ah, okay. Can you equip the pendant as a hunter tool? You mean like put it in my quick use slot? I can, but every time I use it, it gets used up, and then you have to re-equip it, because once you finish using up an item, when you get another one, it won't automatically go back into your thingy. Let's move the camera. Gotta be careful about pressing L2 and R2 at the moment. It's a good view. I might just sort of take this. I wish we could sort of get a bit a cleaner look at it. Let's just do this. That looks cool. I did it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Oh, so it just rises. I thought it rotated and rose. Pretty cool. Alright, now... I didn't need to do that anyway to get to where I need to be. Should I go for this drop? Should I just drop down here? Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, nice. I don't really care where I end up. I should be able to run to the double doors from anywhere around here. Where are they? Over here? There they are. Okay. I think the emissaries, I mean, living failures, they're not out here yet. But the big flower is. Hey, Maria's room has quite a elaborate roof. Do you ever really see that? With that's cool lighting too. It's not cool at all. It's really glitchy. Okay. I'm not sure if you can see that in the game. Ooh, that's cool though. I guess you would call that the lumen flower. Maybe. Okay, let's get back to it. Let's just... We don't need to fight the thingies. Did they spawn? Oh, one did. Alright, you usually have to hit one to make the rest spawn, don't you? Can you check the map when the living failures summon the cosmos? Actually, it's just sort of a big effect that coats the whole screen. Because I accidentally triggered it like 1,000,000 times when I was working on Maria. And yeah, it doesn't really do anything to the map. But something that is interesting... Ooh, let's just take a look out there, it's cool. Something that is interesting is how the map changes once you enter Maria's boss arena. What the? There's like horrid lumps that you can't even see the other side of. Hang on, where am I? I'm here. Yeah, they're just out of view. There's like these, what would you call it? Like back face cold masses. Really green lighting on one of the buildings. So I was just looking at the chat. Is that the Grand Cathedral in the Waking... Not Waking World, but like the other version of it? Yeah, it is. Is Maria loaded now? Nope, but her chair is. So, let's go into Maria's room. We're going to end this stream kind of soon. We'll get through the fishing hamlet and that'll be the end. We're not going to trigger the blood moon and do the rest of the base game. Can you check the hut that looks like the workshop? So now that we've entered this room, it's actually loaded the fishing hamlet map, which has coated the area in water. So now back here in the living failures arena, there's water everywhere now. That's pretty cool. There's water everywhere, covering the research hall. Is it inside the research hall? The research hall have water in it? No. Okay, it's kind of nice that it doesn't go in there. But there's water all around the research hall. And you can see the majority of the first area of the fishing hamlet. And you can see the ship's masts that are very interesting when it comes to lore. Really cool, actually, the amount of detail that goes into them. They are the same masts that appear in the Nightmare Frontier. They look exactly the same. I have looked at the Nightmare Frontier. And there is a whole city down below. A whole Yharnam. But it is just the Hunter's Nightmare version of Yharnam. Let's get back to this first. Let's trigger Maria, because she's cool as cool as. Blammo. We don't need to skip this cutscene, do we? I should have installed the mod that gives her the cut line about the girl are insufferable. But that's alright.
Oh, I know very well how the secrets beckon so sweetly. Only an honest death will cure you now. Liberate you from your wild curiosity.
Maria is a free to rip off. I'm pretty I think there is obviously some connection there. Oops, I think it doesn't matter. I'm currently attacking her because I'm mashing R2. The light source on the dial is very bright. I'm hitting her, blam! That's cool. So obviously we can... Whoa! Obviously we can use the free camera to get up very close. Look at a brooch, for example. Ooh, I wonder what the environment map on that brooch looks like if it were to be extracted and looked at. Environment maps are created very early in development, so they often have interesting details to them. Look how they're shimmering on the hair and eyelashes. That's weird. Cool. Cool lady. I mean, I think we've already seen this character up close a billion times before. It's not hard to... Actually, I guess when most people are trying to get screenshots of her, she's hostile and killing them. So maybe not everyone's had the privilege of looking at this a million times like I have. I look at this and think, yeah, that's boring, because I've seen it like 10,000 times. But I think for a lot of people, it's like you've never had a chance to see these weapons up close and that sort of thing. Oh, the photo on the table, yeah, is unfortunately very, very low resolution. SanadSK extracted the texture from it and posted it on Twitter a long time ago. There's not much going on there, is there? Except drinking some blood, typical vile blood fashion. Cool lady. Smash your chair. It's annoying that I can't lock on during this mode because obviously R3 resets the camera. Alright Maria, you did a good job. But we're going to head to the last area now. Does she have different models so when her weapons get blood coated? It's certainly not a different model, like it's the same character that just performs a new animation. I'm not really sure if there's much more to it than that. The fishing hamlet is so cool. They really put a lot of work into it. It feels like it always belongs in the game. Obviously being DLC, sometimes it has the impression of not belonging in the game, which is the impression I get from the Hunter's Nightmare. But something like this, you can really tell that it's meant to be here. Like, look at this. Look at this detail. Barnacles everywhere. And obviously corpses in boats. Pretty cool. I would probably be more incentivized to release this mod to the public if the public had a way to use the mod more readily. But as it is, I just don't think there's any reason to release it. Especially to release it without infringing on From Software's copyright, I would need to release a patching utility, which would take me like an hour to make. And it's just not worth making it as is, because no one would use it. Well, it's probably like 3 people who would use it. Ship's masts. It's such a messy version of Yarnum down below. Alright, let's get back on our adventure. Now, when it comes down to it, there's not that much to explore in the fishing hamlet, is there?
Blasphemous murders.
Sorry, I can't hear the voices. You obviously can on the stream.
Blasphemous murder. Atonement for the written.
So, so I'm probably speaking over that person's. You would pay for a guide. It's not so much a guide. It's you need a specific PlayStation 4, I guess. You can Google like how to mod PS4 game. I'm sure someone's like written a small guide on like making a basic mod. I remember when Shadow of the Colossus, it's really easy to unlock the debug menu. So someone's probably written up a little guide on how to do it, which is like a really basic version of what you need to do to run this mod too. Oh, that well, where am I? Hang on, I'm totally lost. I was going to talk about German being in the fishing hamlet, but there we go. For starters, this enemy here, there's actually an invisible version of one of these. Look how tall its head is. Standing outside the Celestial Dial, the astral clock tower that is. I can't see it now because I've unloaded the map. But it's standing just to the side of it and it's invisible. I don't know why it's there. Maybe it was like from a trailer or something, but it's standing right here and it's invisible. Yes, swordiness. People importing Bloodborne maps into Dark Souls 3. That was massively due to Katalash's work. He's probably still in the chat at the moment, I'm not sure. And German. German is in this map. He's invisible. He's standing about here. Obviously he's invisible, but they put him there for when they were filming the trailer. Now, yeah, there's not really that much to look at in this area. Just a whole bunch of little fishing huts. They don't have much going on. I don't think you can see the moon from here either, can you? No. So I say we just jog on. Oh, the talking NPC at the start is actually unkillable, is it? I wondered that. Oh, I was going to show something. Just a little detail I really appreciated and never noticed until I had the free camera. Or how do you cheese the sharks? I use the shaman bone blade to kill them. I've only ever killed them once. These corpses, and it's probably clear to see now that I'm here, but they're covered in like, I dare say, pearlescent slugs. No, they're like little cockroaches. But either way, they are very pearlescent. Which I think probably has some meaning. In the lore of how the fishing hamlet was a hotbed for eldritch truth, as are the pearlescent slugs. I just like that detail of them crawling, pearlescent lice crawling all over the corpses. It's quite cool. Here we go. Sea fleas. The hut is up here, right? Yeah, this is where we find Simon. Is Simon always dead when you get here? Oh, I guess if you kill him earlier, he's probably not dead here, right? Yeah, so I never met Simon in the first place, so I guess that just breaks his whole chain, hey. That's cool. That's cool. Alright, where are we? Where are we? I actually wanted to go in a window over here. I explored a bit of the fishing hamlet yesterday with the free camera. I like how you can see, I know you obviously don't need a free camera to appreciate this, but I really like how you can see that later area in through these little windows. And if you know clip in there, it actually works out. It lines up properly. You can land in here and continue on with the game. Just another little detail of how well it all lines up. Maybe these slugs in here are like the more mature version of those same things that were crawling on the corpses outside. Oh yeah, they're definitely those slug things. They look like the... Is it like the A Call Beyond weapon or whatever? The thing that looks like a little slug covered in sparkly stuff. Really nice detail on them. They're not just a flat texture on the ground with bump mapping. They're actually like a ton of polygons all over the ground. That's good. They did a good job. Oh look, there's a... What do you call these things? I don't actually know what these things are called. Slug ladies? There isn't... I don't know if you know, you're either Richard Pilbeam, but there's an unused one of these ladies too. Has no animations and a less detailed everything. She has teeth. Yeesh. Back's all gross. Do they have like any body parts at all? Just a swimmy tail thing. Good for her. Smashed your little house. What's his name? The gross dude will probably invades around here somewhere, doesn't he? Why are the NPCs so wet? It's a very wet game. It's more of a soggy. I kind of wanted to get a look at one of these while they're still inside their shell. Isn't that the one? Oh no, I didn't kill it. Brador, that's his name, yeah. So sometimes they come out of these shells, right? But I guess they just appear out of nowhere. They're not like bundled up inside or anything stupid like that. Slugs. More slugs. Yeah, these are just empty shells. I was wondering if you'd like see... Wait a minute. What's this? Is that like, because I'm far away enough, I can see the hair? Because the physics isn't rendering? So I can see the hair of the creature that's hiding inside? I can, that's what it is. Yeah, so there's like one of them ladies hiding in this shell. Oh, that's probably her. She's probably compacted down into a tiny... Oh no, her whole face is in there. She's all smashed inside. Oh my god, look at her. She's like mashed up inside the shell. Yeesh. Let's use the free camera to like watch her emerge. This is gonna be great. Cool, cool. Alright, here we go. Get ready for some high octane slug action. Can I smash this? Nope. I haven't been here in like it's been like a year since I played this part of the DLC. Oh, they're all coming out. Did I waste my opportunity? I didn't realize they would spawn so readily. Oh, no. These ones haven't come out yet. Okay, hang on. So let's find one with a lady mashed up inside. Here's one. Okay, there she is. We gotta like get a good angle on this broad. Alright. She's like wriggling. Oh no, it's just the water caustics. Alright, hang on. Yeah, get away from me. I need to like Get away. Get myself in a position where I can just run forward and trigger her. I'm just holding up on the analog stick, hoping I like run close to her somehow. I think I'm stuck against a wall or something. There! Okay, where did I end up? I ended up in the wrong direction. This is really hard, but it's gonna be worth it to see her come out all mangled from her little shell, right? Oh, damn it. I need to, like, orient myself properly first. Okay, so first, where am I? I'm facing the wrong way. Okay, hang on. Like this, and then like this. And then... Oh, every time I turn the camera out, every time I get the monocle out, he spins around, she spins around. Alright, hang on, let's just... need to get in a position where I can see myself and the slug lady. Where am I? Am I up there? I am. Okay, hang on. Okay. About three paces backwards. This is good. Alright, this is gonna be worth it. I think this is the best angle. Yeah, just walk backwards, right? Yeah, here I come. Here comes me. Yeah. Okay. Not the best. Not the best result. But that was a good. We did a good job, everybody. We pulled it together. We got to see the slug lady get all weird out. Get her weird body out. Come on, get out of the way, ladies. Alright, let's go check out the orphan, and I think we'll leave it at that. I think we can see the orphan from up here, right? Wow. There's Cosm. Gold pendant, yep. And free camera. Yep. Watch out, lady. So I think something that a lot of people are very, very keen on seeing is... Her name's Cos, right? Cos's face. Where the hell am I? There I am. So this is low poly Cos. She's pretty low poly. Mouth open. Nothing inside. Just a slug lady. Okay, where am I? Whoa. Oops. Can I see myself? There I am, I'm floating up in the sky. I think the cutscene actually immediately triggers as soon as you, like, fall on her. Where am I? Yeah, if I fall under the cutscene, it'll just start. I died. I died and then triggered the cutscene. I fell through a death floor and then triggered the cutscene. What happened? Oh, wait a minute. Is the cutscene playing with free camera? It is. Oh my god. I managed to lock the camera in place during the cutscene. Whoa, that's really cool. I didn't know I could do that. That's going to make some really interesting... That's going to make it interesting. I'm going to be able to, like, see Amelia's transformation in-game. Whoa. Alright, hang on. I said I was going to... yeah, I'm dead. I get it. I said I was going to end the stream there. Let's end it on something much more interesting. I'm going to leave. Yeah, that's great. Okay, I didn't know that would work. Let's just speed run to Amelia and watch her cutscene. Come on, hurry up. Come on. Come on. Alright. This should be quite easy. I just gotta think about how to do this, because, like... Yeah. Yeah, this will work. Because what I did just then is I actually still had it in free camera placement mode when I used the vermin, so I wasn't in control of the player. So what I've got to do is approach Amelia by mashing L2 and R2 to just make myself slowly step forward. This one can be Trevor. Trevor is a beautiful lady. Good job, Trev. So yeah, I'll like mash L2 and R2 to make the character slowly walk towards Amelia, and that will trigger the cutscene, and hopefully the camera stays in place. So that'll be cool. Pretty sure I can run to her really fast. Is Gammon crying because the orphan is tormenting him? I think it's just the orphan crying. I don't know.
Good.
Oh, is
All
that a
signed
thing?
and
Sleep
sealed.
soundly when you defeat the orphan. I thought the only one who said something, who had dialogue affected by the DLC, was the doll. I thought just the doll said like, oh Jesus, I've got to go to the dream and get the vermin and stuff. I thought the doll just says like, I feel at rest or something when you kill Maria. Oh, we've hit 3 hours on the stream now. Whew. Oh, so she's talking about Gurman when she says sleeping soundly. Okay, okay. I thought she was talking about herself, like once you kill Maria, the doll says like she feels a sudden weight has been lifted. But then I didn't know she said anything else later on in the DLC. That's cool. Blammo. Alright. Alright, give me that vermin. And then we can sprint to Amelia. Can you make a joke speedrun? I don't think so. If I wasn't live streaming now, I'd run to Amelia and back up my save on a USB stick so I could try this a couple of times and get some high quality footage of it, but let's just do it live, and if it screws up, whatever. We'll try another time. I just accidentally bowed. We'll try another time. Come on. Come on. Full boss. My favorite discovery is Maria being like a cut NPC that could be 99% restored. Come on, 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 load. It's like 10 PM. I'm ready for bed. I'm not ready for bed. I'm ready to put some music on and chill out for the rest of the night. Alright, give me my vermin, give me my gold pendant. I would expect that this stream will be available readily to anyone who wants to watch it afterwards. I probably won't upload it as like on the channel publicly. I'll probably just tweet out links to it and stuff like that. I tend to do that with things that are less produced, I guess. Laughs at 3 AM. Laughs into 3 AM. The most WTF discovery. Wow. I don't know. I'd have to think about that, like something that's made me go like, wow, look at this weird thing. I don't know. Okay, let's do this. Let's see some Amelia. Now, this is by no means going to be a groundbreaking discovery because Sanad SK already imported the whole cutscene animation into some kind of viewer and showed what exactly happens during the cutscene. But seeing it in-game is way more interesting in my opinion. I just hope it doesn't do something crazy like you just saw happen with the Orphan cutscene where it had like super motion blur or whatever. Oscar Bones. Yes, Bloodborne is incredibly boring with most hacking. When I first enabled the free camera, I was literally just like, what's the point of this? This is so boring. But then I just showed like one screenshot on Twitter and people were crazy for it. And I was like, I gotta remember that not everyone plays the game the way I do. Not everyone is bored out of their minds by every little detail that they've seen a billion times already. Here we go. So I'm pretty much just going to chuck the camera in the corner of the room for the Amelia cutscene and see what happens. Did a pretty good job speed running to Amelia. My favorite coffee. Oh, I'm not good with coffee. I drink freeze-dried instant coffee like 10 times a day. So I drink tons of coffee and it's like the cheapest chemical garbage that you can possibly get. So yeah, people who live in like Melbourne are like, ooh, I like good coffee, and I really hate good coffee. I think it tastes like dirt and brown water. Oh my god, Phobos just goes, do you have the monocular? No, I don't. Good call. Thank you, Phobos. You are a good friend. It's right over here, so it doesn't matter. Hello, Crescivia. Ooh, tea greater than coffee. I was just in Japan for like 12 days. So it was a very, very tea-focused situation. I had to go to the Family Mart to find some freeze-dried coffee and milk, which is better than being in America. In America, I couldn't find freeze-dried coffee anywhere. Yeah, seeing all these cutscenes with the free camera, there's a lot of possibilities. Oh, now that's probably going to be like my next video. I was on the fence about what video to make next. I was actually going to make like a mod showcase and just do what I'm doing now, but just as a produced video, 10 minutes long, just showing like 10 interesting discoveries using the free camera. But maybe like free camera cutscenes would be more interesting. So we'll see. We'll see. You didn't try the vending machine coffee? Yeah, I had heaps of vending machine coffee in Japan. I drank a lot of stuff from vending machines, and like all the ticket buy restaurants as well. Like Go-Go Curry. And anyone who follows me on Twitter probably knows I went to Hinoya Curry like 1 billion times, and the manager made me take a selfie with him. What's the cheat code for this? You just push up, up, down, and then hold circle. And that's it. You should try it sometime. Did you try CC Lemon? I did not try CC Lemon. Oh, Zach. Amelia doesn't just switch from one model to another instantly. The beast model kind of grows up out of the ground, I think. Like it starts really really small and then gets bigger. Because Sanadesk already did a pretty good look into how the cutscene works. So how close do I need to get? Gotta be careful. Now get the monocular out. Where am I? Where am I? Where's the orphanage? Oh, there it is. Where am I? Okay.
Let us pray. Let us wish.
This is probably going to be quite weird.
Let us
But
partake in communion. And
let's
feast
do it.
upon the old blood.
Oh wait, no. Monocular out and then just mash R2.
Soothes our fears.
Obviously every time I mash R2, the camera moves a bit too. Look at me just slowly edging towards her. I'm going to be doing this. And if you get in my way, that's your own fault. I'm going to be punched. Alright, here we go. Okay. Alright, we got a cutscene. Here we go. What's going on? Does the cutscene take place in a different part of the map? Oh no, here we go. Okay, alright. She's got another candle. Oh, okay. So they do some funny stuff to make her... Whoa! She's like up in the air. Oh, so it's doing this so it can cast the shadow. Oh my god. She's like all bending... bent. Oh. Wow. Okay. So... She's, gonna turn around and look at the camera, I guess, and that's the end of it. Well, that was exactly what I wanted to see. that worked out really well. I'll have to get that from a few more angles, hey? Like, get right up in the sky for that transformation moment and everything. That's great. That's a great new discovery. I did not expect that to work because of the way the cutscene formats work. I really thought they, you know, took over the engine in a much more extreme way. Now I'm going to just be doing this, and if you get in my way, it's your own fault. Alright, I'm going to end the stream there. It's been 3 hours and 10 minutes. So thank you all for watching, and if there's anyone watching who has dared not subscribe yet, don't subscribe now because it's too late. There's no more subscriptions left, and it's all sold out, so I'm sorry you missed out. No, make sure you subscribe. I'll upload a nice video. I'll do one on cutscenes. I'll go watch every cutscene from a few different angles and see if we can see some weird stuff. And yeah, obviously I have lots more cut content. I have a massive Dark Souls 3 one coming soon about a couple of cut areas, so that'll be cool too. I have to work out how to make this stream stop because I'm using OBS and it's garbage. Alright, thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.